Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Beacon, the Alien actual play here on Althaven with the Stream Punks. We are heading into episode 5 tonight, I believe. And before we get underway, just wanted to do some quick announcements. First of all, I would just like to announce, because it's been a hot minute since I brought this up, but I would just like to remind everybody in case that maybe you haven't visited any of our previous streams before, or checked out our Discord, or supported us, or anything like that, or seen us on Geek and Sundry, all the people in this channel are fucking awesome. You might look at them now and realize, like, oh shit, yeah, that actually tracks. Sam, Lisa, Noir, and Caitlin are all fucking badasses and are wonderful players, and I'm very grateful to be playing with them. So, as a quick reminder, I'd like everyone just to check in and make sure you guys are ready, because you're about to see a fucking great stream with great people. Cool? All right. Second announcement. The second announcement is that you might have seen that we're teasing something on Twitter, and that's all I'm going to say. All right, who's got some announcements tonight? Who else has got some stuff? Yes, Caitlin.
This is kind of a belated announcement because I never actually brought it up when it happened, but Thin Places Radio are like short form, 10-minute or less haunted radio show, audio fiction podcast. The last episode that went up, it was like a couple, 2-3 weeks ago or whatever at this point. I was in that one, outside of just being the credits. So, if you haven't caught up, you super should do that. If you haven't listened at all, don't listen to my episode first. It will make no sense. So that's if you want to hear me doing scripted line reads for the first time since I was 13 years old, you should go check out Thin Places Radio, at Thin Places Radio on most social media sites, and then we're available on anywhere you can find podcasts. So check it out.
Excellent. All right. Anybody else have anything they would like to hawk tonight? Tell anybody about?
I guess I will just say it's the last week that Storyloom will exist.
Oh no.
I'm working towards preserving my stories. I have the scripts, obviously, but preserving, I might reconstruct it in video form. Good Lord, that editing job. But who knows? We'll see. Also, I wanted to preserve how Caitlin's beautiful artwork looked in my game. I'm so sad. This app is closing, but it's okay. But you can play my game and many others just until through the end of Thursday. It's Storyloom. My name is Apiza Liza on there. Apizaliza. Yeah, that's it.
All right. How about anybody else? Yeah, Noir.
Can't say much, but keep an eye on Rascal this week, which is the ttrpg news show, because there may be a story about a project that I'm involved in coming up. So check it out.
Ali.
Oh, this is also the part where you plug the game tomorrow on last week.
Yes. Oh, thank you. I went mind blank. We're doing our coffee game for tomorrow, and I've been so excited to play this system. We are doing Marvel Multiverse RPG.
Oh my god!
Anita and Sam have already made their characters.
Are you doing an official adventure?
We are not doing an official adventure because we crafted an adventure specifically for these characters. You're going to find out what happens when an abandoned sidekick and a overworked henchman decide maybe they want to go out on their own to try things. You're going to see the story of Big B and Dash. I'm very excited to tell the story with them, so check it out tomorrow. And thank you so much for supporting the Street Punks Through Coffee. Keep doing it if you want to see more of these stories. Thank you.
That actually reminded me. I had two other things that I should have probably announced. The first one is just jumping off of what Noir said. By the way, if you ever want to jump onto Demiplane and check out some of the official adventures, I helped Jim Zub put one together on the Demiplane website. Jim Zub, as you may know, is a fantastic legendary comic book writer. Is currently in the middle of a very successful run of Conan the Barbarian right now. It's doing gangbusters, and Jim, I got to join up and draw up the stats and help Jim put together his absolutely wild, wacky ass adventure that he did with Arcade, probably the most inept supervillain in all of the Marvel universe, and it's pretty spectacular. So check it out when you get a chance. The last thing I was going to say is that I'm so bad at promoting myself. Sunday, at 1 p.m. is our season finale for Planescape Ward Rats over on GaryCon Live. So if you're interested in to see how that game is going, we raised $4,269.69 for Doctors Without Borders. And because of that fundraiser, the campaign has been completely upended. I rolled on the magical items table as I promised I would, thinking that we were going to struggle to get to 1K. And now everybody is experiencing wild magic surges, and I have a 5th level character that has a Staff of the Magi. I just don't know what to do when you have somebody who only has like 30 hit points but can cast Plane Shift. Here we are. So join us over there at 1 p.m. Also, the last thing, a self-promotion thing. This Thursday, I'm going to be having my streamiversary. It's my partner streamiversary. I don't normally stream on Thursdays. I'm having to bump it because Thursday is literally the last day I can do it before Twitch says, and I'll see you next year. So this Thursday, streamiversary starts at 10:30 a.m. over on my channel. Join us in the League of Whimsy. I'm going to be having 2 writers from Star Trek Adventures joining me. I have Al Spader and Jim Johnson are going to come join me and talk to the audience and do a Q&A about Star Trek Adventures 2nd edition, which was just announced today. So stop in and say hi and check it out. Okay, that's all I've got. I will now shut up. Anybody else got any announcements? Or did I just gobble up the entire 3 hours that we had set aside to play Alien just now?
Well, yes, but I'm going to do announcements anyway.
Okay, cool.
So coming to you live on Twitch and YouTube this Wednesday at 6 p.m. Pacific time, Harmonia's Lament. It's this brilliant short series played across multiple different game systems. I got to be in it and got to play with people the Streampunks don't usually get to play with. I hadn't rolled dice with Katie Ozores before, but I strongly recommend doing so to anyone who has the opportunity. It's just the whole cast is just, it's so good. It's such a good group. It's beautiful and wild and unexpected, and you can start by watching us construct the world together. So that's coming again this Wednesday, 6 p.m. Twitch and YouTube here on Althaven. As for my own stuff, I will not have an episode of Morning People May Contain Science tomorrow on Tuesday, but if you are feeling a little shortage of science, I decided apropos of nothing last week that I'm in charge of my own science and my own channel and what I cover, and what I wanted to cover was flying cars. Are we flying car yet? Go on my YouTube channel and find out. I gave not an extensive info dump, preview the other day, and preliminary reviews were strong. So go check it out, youtube.com/@delevely, DELEVELY, for the latest episode. Dude, where's my flying car?
Word.
So good.
But today we get to fly spaceships. I like spaceships. Those are actually meant to fly. And I'm excited.
All right. Let's see if they can keep it in the sky. Let's begin tonight's episode of Beacon. Welcome back. We're going to go ahead and jump into our game session tonight. Where we last left off, you guys had just gone into hypersleep after jumping to your first set of coordinates. The Ilios has been sent out rather abruptly to play taxi to a scientist, as well as you also are going to be the specific jobs. You've been given 2 tasks: to pick up a scientist and to join an expedition. Apparently you're going to be scanning a system while you're out here. Apparently it's on the way back. So the idea is to pick up this scientist on your way back. You guys are being paid a pretty hefty sum in order to basically survey an entire star system. You had something of a memorial in our last session for a fallen friend. You had the funeral, but nobody had actually really gotten the time to mourn the loss of O'Donnell. But now the crew is kind of bonded, having lost their first pilot. The new pilot is a older gentleman named Connor Voight, who's a little mysterious and a little vague when he answers his questions about his background. He only seems to give half the story. You get the impression he's well traveled, judging from the fact that he looks like he carries patches all over his leather jacket of just about every job he's ever had. Otherwise, he seems to be a pretty easygoing guy. And thus far, if I read the crew correctly, you guys are feeling all right about him. Giving him his space, feeling it out. And so far, he's handled himself quite well. When you last left off were the canopy doors closing on your hypersleep chambers. And Isaac put everyone to bed and basically went back up to the cockpit and started playing O'Donnell's playlist. Out of curiosity, during these quiet, lonely moments in the corridors, with either music playing over the speakers, Mother can be blasting them if you want, but what does Isaac do? Because as we know, as a couple of days roll around, 12 days into the hyperspace jump, you have a birthday, if I'm not mistaken, Isaac.
It's true. I do.
On your birthday, I'm going to have you make a heavy machinery check for maintenancing the Ilios while she is an FTL jump. So go ahead and make me a roll. Heavy machinery.
I've never gotten birthday presents before because I've never had a birthday before. But I admit I didn't expect it would be a heavy machinery check.
Mhm.
I would say it's just what I always wanted. But all the organics are asleep, so I don't have to say that.
Tell me what you get.
1, 2, 3.
2, 3 successes. Okay. Not only do you use this time to kind of polish up the Ilios a little bit and do some standard maintenance, but you actually managed to lock down a few of the jobs that you might have to have come back because you have to maintenance your ship every week. In this case,
Oh, really?
every 7 days.
Hmm.
Something bad could happen. Someone could end up.
You could have a radiation leak that could damage a critical member of your crew.
Somebody could have accidentally been, spotted with a permanent point of radiation. That is true.
Yeah, it could really, really harm someone.
It's entirely
if
possible.
you didn't do that on schedule.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
with that roll, you of course have your options to stunt it. You can not have to do that particular maintenance shift again. In this case, it wouldn't really, there's nothing really specific happening here because there's no absolute component damage. The heavy machinery check was just to maintenance. But we could say that you can skip a week's worth of maintenance, putting in all of your work in today and sort of giving yourself time off. Maybe it's kept Isaac a little busy on their birthday. You can do it in half the time. You got 2 stunts here you can spend.
That's true. I can't really show off, though. I could show off to Mother. I don't think Mother would be impressed. Maybe if I do things in half the time, then I can get more work done because I would rather be busy than not be busy. Well, my crew's asleep.
Right.
But it means that I have room to get ahead of the next maintenance schedule for I assume some of these are rotating. You have week A, maintain these things, week B, maintain these things kind of vibe. So maybe I can sort of get by doing the things in half the time, I can get ahead of my other maintenance.
I would say make a note here because one of the things I'm going to give you, especially because I actually didn't make it I wrote something very vague down. So this is going to be me refreshing it. Because you got the 2 successes, what I'm going to give you here is if there's ever a future moment where due to maintenance, I roll a reactor leak, I will automatically cancel it out because Isaac has spent a stunt point here basically to ensure that the problem doesn't happen. So I would say for the next,
If we roll a reactor leak, no, we didn't.
No, we didn't. Exactly. So if I roll that I don't re-roll. If I rolled that, then the roll is canceled and there's no component damage.
Thank you. I will take that. Excellent.
Okay. So Isaac, you keep yourself busy. moving up and down the corridors, which light for you as you move down the corridors. Mother, of course, is tracking all of your movements to make sure that you have all the appropriate amount of light you need in order to make all the repairs. She's also playing your recommended movie soundtracks, rather.
Dancing with myself. Dancing with myself.
It is worth a note.
Just bopping through the hallways.
Yeah, I could see it. Yeah. I love it because if anybody here has seen Alien Prometheus, you would see there's these long scenes where it actually just shows David by himself, keeping himself busy during the maintenance cycles of constantly checking on everyone, doing everything from watching old films to combing his hair and practicing accents to riding a bicycle and shooting shots over and over. Cut to like Isaac. This would be 70 plus years later in this ship, singing Dancing to Myself as you were working on a nuclear reactor in the back of the ship. As soon as you finish
It's so boring and it sucks so bad.
Wrapping up your day's shift, you find yourself back into the pilot's deck on the 2 chairs that are up at the front of the ship. Little Hulu girls just kind of swaying back and forth from the reactor hum as the ship is basically purring like a kitten right now. Yeah. Real quick question, because it wasn't specified in the last game, but if I remember correctly, you had all told me that your intention moving forward was to take Dr. Impressive with you on all of your journeys. In which case...
I promised Bella I'd keep an eye out.
Right. Okay. So, I'm going to say that Dr. Impressive is with you all, but I'm going to have to ask, in whose hypersleep chamber is Dr. Impressive curled up on?
I mean, I'll dive on that bomb. Like, I'll take that bullet.
Okay.
I'll cuddle FTL with the kid.
I mean, if nothing else, for someone who is prone to intense anxiety before going into hypersleep, Dr. Impressive does a pretty good job of purring away some of that anxiety as he makes biscuits on your chest as soon as the hyperbolic chamber, the hypersleep chamber just closes on.
I love that so much. I love Blaze do that.
Player Caitlin would love that. Character Tig absolutely is trying to like close the door before anybody can try to put Mr. Impressive in her.
No.
With her.
Oh, yeah. Well, sorry, I'm already in. Oh,
well. Okay. So with that, 18 days pass aboard the Ilios as your crew members sleep. Unless you have anything specific you'd like to do, Isaac.
No, because I don't think there's really a role for re-outlining O'Donnell's novel. But I am specifying that is part of the time spent. We're gonna there's 16 pages. There's different chapters across the story. We can work with this.
Okay.
They're going to work with this. So that's, I think, the only other thing we especially see. I think my birthday is not a day I do anything in particular because it's supposed to be with people. That's what it's all.
That is true. Okay.
Can I fudge my records and make it look like it's the day that they woke up so they don't think they missed my birthday?
You could. That would require you manipulating Mother's ship time.
Yeah.
So then taking.
Or they saying fudging your own records, like your own documents.
Yeah.
You mean so like not the ship time, like Isaac's records.
Oh, you mean you want to change your birthday?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
I will say Martha already knows, though. You've talked to Martha about it.
Yeah, so I might get caught.
A chess player, Isaac.
I don't know if you know this about Isaac, but they're a bad liar.
So Isaac, you sit down in front of the Mother console in the room that looks exactly like my background and pull yourself up to the keyboard as the green screen lights up in front of you. and you see the words on the screen immediately blink, and you hear those beautiful retro sounds as the words appear. Good morning, Isaac.
Hi, Mother. I need to correct a record in my personnel file.
You hear the computer computing the request as your personnel file comes up. You see your face, date of manufacture, your model number. You also see Mother in the side box. The words begin to appear on the screen. I'm not detecting any inaccuracies in your file at the moment, Isaac.
Well, how could you detect it without external reference? No, it's definitely wrong, possibly due to an error in my part in relativistic correction.
Mother brings up an image file of your manufacturing date and certification of shipment to both the station and your manufacture date from Hyperdyne Systems.
Yeah, that should be 6 days from now.
Mother computes that, but doesn't have an immediate response. And says, after a few moments, she just gives you a display of ship time and local time.
I don't need your sass. Look, those records can be those records, but that's not the same as my Beacon personnel file, is it?
Words appear on the screen. Would you like to see your Beacon personnel file?
Yes, please. Ooh, maybe it has a performance commendation.
Your Beacon personnel file pops up on screen. You see there's a couple of annotations made by Varela inside the personnel file as well. And also inaccessible to lower ranking employees. However, of course, you have her access codes. So as it pops up on screen, just staring at them, you're like, well, that's not a problem. You do see a couple of things, though, that looks like comments being made by some of the higher ranking engineers on Beacon Station. Some of them basically saying, they're basically commendations. They're basically people saying that Isaac is going beyond what they are being asked and accomplishing a lot of work that would be dangerous to other crewmates. Highly recommended for more tasks on board. Valued crew member, a few people have that listed as well.
Well, that feels very nice.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll just have to adjust the date in the Beacon personnel record.
Okay. You go into the Beacon personnel record and you change the birth date, which is easy because as you go into the Beacon personnel record, you see it says in/A for your birth date. So delete, and you enter in
6
the
days
appropriate date, 6 days from now, as Mother does have that as the ETA arrival at the system in question.
So convenient. Okay, that's all I did.
As soon as you close it, you see popping up on the screen, Mother says, "You have a birthday coming up, Isaac."
Oh, really? Thank you for letting me know. I didn't realize that was coming up.
Mother begins to compute something again and says, "I've been given a directive, a request by one of your crewmates."
Oh, good, yes. What is it?
The screen goes fuzzy for a second as a video game begins to play. And take it away, Martha.
Hi, Isaac. I know we're all sleeping right now, but we wanted to say
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday, Isaac.
It's not too dark. I know that some of the lights go down when it's like when we're asleep, but like, you should turn a bunch of lights on, do some like flickers, have a little dance party. You'll have a good time.
Yeah, like throw some confetti. You probably don't have any confetti, but like, I don't know, cut up some things and then clean it up because that's probably what you're going to do. Or don't clean it up. Leave it for us to clean up.
Yeah, make a mess for us to clean up. Yeah, that'd be fun, actually. That would be good. Yeah, change
I wouldn't mind that too much. I hid a book before I went to bed. I challenge you to find it.
That's way smarter than what I did. I love that. Yeah, go find the book. I'll wait till we're done recording. You got to tell me what
you're all recording something. You hear?
Get in here, say happy birthday.
What's going on?
It's Isaac's birthday.
Oh, that's lovely. Oh,
yeah.
Well, how old is Isaac?
1 year old.
but a strong one.
Hello, yes, happy birthday, Isaac. You're the best 1-year-old who's ever bent an entire cylinder of extremely powerful steel that I've ever met. So, happy birthday.
Not bad.
Thank you for fixing the reactor a few hours ago. That was very helpful.
They're good at them. Yeah.
Yeah. I like not dying from radiation poisoning, and I just wanted to say thank you and happy birthday again. All right, I'm gonna go back to my checklist. You all should be getting ready. And then
Yeah, I guess.
All
All
right.
right. Well, we'll see you in a couple of days, Isaac. Happy
Yep,
birthday. Sorry we
and-
can't be awake
Yeah.
for it.
But we will be when we wake up. We're gonna celebrate. Get ready.
Hey, where is everyone? I replay it and I replay it and I replay it and I go hunt for a book and then I replay it.
Okay.
That's going to be a lot of the rest of it. Also, I will undo since the goof was caught. And I know the goof was caught. But I'll give myself a birthday where it was not applicable.
Okay. All the same, as the message stops playing, Mother 6500 types up "Happy birthday, Isaac." You see it appear on the screen.
Okay, I will accept this SAS, but only provisionally. I have to go find a book. Thank you.
Out of curiosity,
Hmm?
2 things. Does Isaac find the book, and what book is it?
I can make an observation check about it if we want,
You want
to
to roll for
actually
it? You
find out.
absolutely can. Yes.
Because it's not like I'm gonna panic, so
And-
I can just make those checks.
I do want to pose something to you, and I'm not going to be, this is not me being a devil's advocate for this, because I will never take responsibility for how you all spend these. But just to keep in mind, the past couple of sessions we have played, you guys have barely touched your story points that the super punks have been donating to you all.
Barely
So
touched
feel
the
free. You
story points.
guys have 8 story points thanks to our super punk subscribers. So just throwing that out there.
Are these per episode now, or is this a full season?
They're per episode. Yeah.
Okay.
But, The reason why they're per episode is because I have removed all the safety parameters from the game.
Yeah.
So I
I knew
don't.
it's something to shift. 'Cause I remember, I still have it in my mind. We had our whole basket was for a whole season last.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
was
had to
really-
recalibrate.
a quick look behind the GM screen. I was really calibrating the challenge rating of what we were doing because we were coming to the end of a story arc, and I wanted to give a really, because what we were about to do, I didn't know how it was going to end. I knew you guys were going up against the Xeno, so I kind of just left that up. But this time around, it is going to be per episode because that's actually
The season's longer.
Yeah.
So it would balance.
it's a longer season and balances out. But it also means that I have more options to throw some really nasty shit at you. So
What?
I love that. Did
Like,
you want to
what's
know
the-
what the book was, or do you want to see if Isaac finds
Let's see if I find it.
okay,
Because
if-
I'm not going to spend a story point because I'm just as pleased if I fail. Then it's a recurring thing that I have to find the thing. So I like the outcome either way.
Heck yeah.
But I only get to find it out if these 3 dice give me an success. Which they don't. Isaac hunts and hunts and they don't find it. I think when they watch video, they'll watch for from what side did Doc enter the frame? Okay, I'll go look on that side of the ship, kind of stuff.
Mhm. Okay. Well, if nothing
Maybe
else
I'll hide
happens,
the
then
lemon on his
18
face.
days will pass.
Mhm.
You hear a chiming alarm, Isaac, and you can hear the hum of the engines, which has been a steady rumble for the past 18 days, begin to shift. The tonality changes. You can hear it starting to power down. An alarm goes off. And by alarm, I mean there are some blinking lights in the corridors indicating that FTL, the drive is spinning down and that you guys are about to arrive at your destination. A few of the screens on the corridors as you're moving through here begin to light up as Mother is starting to feed navigational data through every console in the ship, just in case there would be a crew member nearby, or you were in the engineering deck down on deck C or something, you could see what's coming up. You guys are arriving in a system. System is currently classified as CJ329 Jinx. The colony itself is going by the name Jinx Colony. It had a pretty morbid name beforehand. It's no indication as to what it was, but it does seem to have the name Mortis in it, but it has been changed since. It's called Jinx Colony. Some of the data that you're seeing on the colony is also available to you as well as you're on the flight deck here. You also receive an indication that the crew is going to be woken up in the next 30 minutes.
Okay.
They're going to start the first stages of the wake up process of hypersleep. Now, quick reminder to the crew: you guys do not have to roll for hibernation sickness or hypersleep unless you were abruptly woken up or there was a problem with your hypersleep. Then there's a roll. Otherwise, you're fine. And if
they will have, oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, they'll have the slippers when they wake up, hot towels, coffee for everybody except Martha, who wants hot bugs juice, and chili mac for Doc and for Martha, both of whom want that when they wake up.
Okay. Jinx Colony, CJ329. This colony is at 0.7 Gs with a dense atmosphere and an average temperature of 32.2 degrees Celsius. It is a desert world with a huge single impact crater and many small impact craters around. And you would also note the computer has it listed that it is used as a Weyland-Yutani research and survey lab startup colony, population of about 40 people. The scientist you're looking for, you see the personnel file pop up on screen. Dr. Lucas Brown, 38 years old, member of the Three Worlds League Empire, field researcher in geology and oceanography. He's been selected to be a part of the Great Mother mission. And apparently Weyland-Yutani is attaching him to the mission because they intend on doing what would appear to be reconnaissance and expedition work while they're out there, which fits what you had read, Isaac, because if you remember, the Great Mother mission is not only to reestablish contact with the lost colonies, but there's a bunch of colonists that are actually headed out to the frontier as well. There is a colony ship, which is what your quote-unquote new ship was going to be attached to. So that tracks with what you know. This system, though, Isaac, is a pretty ominous looking system. As you are jumping in, Mother is indicating that the system itself is the system itself is actually named Wolf 5205, and that is based off the name of the star, which is a red dwarf. So as soon as you are getting kind of a cursory pictures of the interior of the system and some of the places that have been scanned here, you can see this beautiful red dwarf star burning in its final stages of its life.
I also have a note about Heather Macheski. Do I see any information on them?
You type in Heather Macheski and you bring up Heather Macheski. She's a 33-year-old prospector, also from Three Worlds Empire. She is also meant to be attending alongside Dr. Lucas Brown. Curious that she's not really considered much of a priority. You get the impression, Isaac, just from looking at the file, that she was kind of joining up at the last second. And Weyland-Yutani does not have her listed as vital. She has UN credentials, and she's not Weyland-Yutani, which could explain why they don't seem to give a damn whether or not she's on the ship or not. But she is listed in the manifest as joining up with the crew to head back to Beacon Station. And she is a prospector. She is literally hired to find precious materials and resources on planets that are part of expeditions.
And that's how the two go together. A geologist and a prospector. Rocks.
Presumably.
This is a rocks place. Well, it's a
Here,
desert
yes.
planet, so I'm assuming the ocean. It isn't for the oceanography.
Yes, that's correct. This place is, looks like this colony was founded about 6 years ago. So it's still relatively new. And it's a small research station. So what you're getting the impression of just looking at the colony itself is it looks like Weyland-Yutani is building the beginnings of think of this as like a permanent station to explore the rest of the system. Because according to the files that are popping up that you have access to, it would appear that this particular world was discovered to be rich in various metals and resources that Weyland-Yutani is currently surveying.
All right.
Do me a favor, make a comtech check.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. I'm terrible at this.
But actually, let me
Oh,
take that
Mother's
back.
good, though.
Mother
good
would
at it.
do the comtech check for you. Let me roll
Yes,
for her.
please.
Okay, so let me roll for Mother. She has got a comtech of 6.
That's better than mine.
2, 4, 6.
By a lot.
Do you have a comtech rating though?
Oh, no. That's for Martha.
Okay. Okay. Yep. She got 1 success. 2 5s, 2 1s, a 3, and a success. So you see words pop up on the screen that Mother is detecting an incoming signal.
Oh.
A few moments later, more words pop up on the screen. Sliding across, you see Mother's indicating that she believes that it is coming from Jinx research station on CJ329.
How far out are we now? What kind of light speed delay are we working with for messaging?
Well, y'all are in system right now, and judging from your distance, actually, yeah, I've actually got a.
Yeah, so if Sun to Earth is 8 minutes?
I can actually, for your reference,
Yes.
I am going to post the colony information for you here in our Discord chat for you guys to use. And I'll go ahead and post this up on our coffee accounts later. So anybody who wants to take a look at it may do so. I'm going to post this here. This is a PDF.
Also, if Wolf 5205 is the same as TOI 5205, it's actually a very cool system with a real life exoplanet and is a red dwarf in its own right. Like, that stuff's all real.
That is a coincidence. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is a pretty dense populated system filled with lots of planetoids. Jinx is the second planet from the sun, but it's in the Goldilocks zone. So it's habitable. But you'll see that it's actually pretty far in system. You guys are pretty much on the edge of the system right now. You're guessing transmission delay is probably about 45 minutes.
Okay,
Judging
so
from where you are right now. Which means this has been broadcasting since before you arrived. Because
and also by that logic, I can maybe buy time until someone's awake. But then the roundabout will. Okay, I could justify how I'm going to be too curious and nosy to wait for my crew to wake up. But at the end of the day, boop. What's it say?
Oh, the message?
Yeah.
It starts to load the message and you hear an audio recording. It's garbled and difficult to understand. But what you make out is,
not alone. Might find me any minute now. There's more of them than there are of us. If anybody receives this, please, this is an SOS from.
and it loops back again and again.
Oh dear. I don't see anything on long range sensor reads or anything of any other ships or orbital stations or any indication that might correspond to other people.
Okay. That's the right question. So now
it might wait a half an hour to be a Martha question.
It might be. So let me run you through it, because ship combat is very much a part of the Alien RPG system. We've never had it before. But the reason why I'm bringing up ship combat is because scanning and trying to understand what's out there is actually in the ship combat section, and is a part of trying to understand what it is you're coming across or reading at this particular moment. So the reason why I bring this up is because you need to know a few things before we proceed. The first thing
Okay.
the first thing to know is that when you scan for anything, you
Right.
are
I see them, they see me.
it's like the Expanse. If you start scanning something, you basically can paint yourself in the night sky,
Sure.
and they could possibly see you. The flip side to that is you can actually deactivate a lot of your sensor sweeps and power down and kind of fly under the radar. But you can scan if you want. They are deep in system, but there's no reason in the world why you couldn't scan to see if you can't find any indication that other ships are out there. But I'm letting you know, because if there are other ships out there, they may spot you scanning them.
Is there any visible EM frequency shift or anything else associated with coming out of FTL? Like,
no, not really.
Has my arrival already broadcast?
No,
Submitted.
jumping out of
Okay.
FTL doesn't immediately give you away. When you arrive,
Okay.
the number one thing that is going to give you away, I'll give you a quick idea. Sensor operations and agile to target lock anybody requires a comtech check roll.
Yes.
And the best way to see somebody is if their sensors are powered up and their engine is hot. And that's the fastest way to spot somebody. If people power down their sensors and their engines, then they're harder to see. You're no harder or easier to see just flying as you are right now. But the flip side is they won't know to look for you unless they're lying in wait for somebody to jump out of the system. That's the only other thing. That's the only other variable.
And if we go back to the information, when was the intel received about this location? Like, when was the decision made to go and get Lucas Brown and Heather Macheski?
Mother brings up the information as it blinks across the screen in the flashing green font. It says that the request was made roughly 2 months ago. Apparently, this scientist was actually supposed to have already been back on Earth before the mission departed. But because of logistic errors, did not make that journey. And it was decided that he was either going to be left behind or that if they could send someone to get him, they would. That was 2 months ago.
Okay, so all of the data we have could still be consistent with someone lying in wait for whoever is coming to get them as well. That a call was put out and whoever came here could be waiting, could either have found out someone was coming to get him and lies in wait, or sent it out themselves. In either case, that's very much not an Isaac call to make. That is for people who have experience in the Marines or people who are called Captain, Dr. Captain. Neither of which is me. So I'm going to put us down to as much silent running as possible so that no one will necessarily see that we are here as I'm waiting for my crew to wake up. And then they can make decisions about whether or not they want to scan. When they're awake, bug juice / coffeeed, and have made tactical determinations as needed.
So if you want to go dark, it's a comtech check roll. Mother can try to do it for you. And the way it works is however many successes she rolls is how many are subtracted from anybody who tries to detect you with sensors.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because thus far, I don't have any particular reason to believe I've alerted anyone based on there's no big flash associated with coming out of FTL.
No, it's not like, in fact.
Well, so then it's like, are you looking for me any more than you would be looking on any other day in the intervening couple months?
Yeah, I don't think it's because Isaac works in space. Isaac would definitely know that the sheer unbelievably, as Douglas Adams would say, space is big, really, really big.
Space is big. If you did go to look for me where I arrived,
you are less than the needle
behind shutting it down now is that if you even saw us, you could make estimates of how long it would take for us to get into the system, and that is a tactical advantage that I don't want to give away before my crew makes choices.
You start powering down a lot of the non-essential systems in the Helios. Mother begins to do the same. She starts taking all the non-essential systems offline immediately. as well as reducing her footprint and
Oh, the music
infrared
does.
and electronic emissions that are happening right now as the Ilios slips into the system. I'm going to make a comtech check on her behalf.
Thank
She
you,
has a
Mother.
comtech check of 6. 2, 4, 6. Or would you like to roll it?
No, please. You roll it. And because Mother's doing that and Isaac can't necessarily see the output.
Okay. Mother is going to attempt a com check. She gets 4 successes. A 1, a 1, a 3, and 4 6s.
Hey, mama.
Thank you for that maintenance, Isaac. The systems begin to go. You see lights shutting down as she shuts down literally every non-essential system. The only thing that is being left on right now, aside from life support, engines, and whatnot, are maybe the refrigerator. But everything else is shutting down, powering down. Right now, the entire flight deck, which is, as you remember, very sizable, is suddenly swallowed in darkness, and all you see are the blinking lights on the consoles and screen as Mother has brought everything down.
I'll
And you
grab
see
a flashlight. I also realized I totally forgot to get any like cat food and water out for Dr. Impressive who's coming out. I got everything ready for the humans. This is also just me being impatient to I need them to be awake.
All right.
So flashlight, cat food, and then I'm gonna hover.
Mother
Gonna
asked,
hover.
should I start waking the crew, Isaac?
Yes. On roughly this, no need to abbreviate their wake up period. We don't want to cause them any organic hypersleep abruptness problems. But as soon as is feasible, yes.
Do not worry. Initiating sleep up. You see their life supports, heart rate monitors and stuff like that, brainwave activity, all these starts to appear on the screen. And you begin to also see on the screen, Mother activate all of the interior cameras of the room. The room is completely dark, but as the cycle begins and she begins the wake up process for the hypersleep chamber, you see the lights inside each hypersleep chamber just light up as you see the temperature variance begin to shift, and she begins the slow, nearly 45-minute long process of waking the crew very gently out of hypersleep. Cut to each of you slowly opening your eyes to an open canopy over your head. 18 days is no joke, but you've all experienced this a few times before. And you remembered to take your hydrate. But that being said, just because the rigorousness of space travel, for no other reason for funsies, I'd like everyone to make a stamina roll. Just to find out if you have some of the particulars of space travel, like headache, bad taste in your mouth, that sort of thing. And what you get?
All right, this will be fun. You're all having a good time, rock and roll.
And Doc, you wake up and Dr. Fantastic is just sitting on your chest eating the last bits of a face hugger.
Yeah.
Just kind of chewing along.
Good boy.
Go ahead and make that stamina check.
And we're looking for successes? Is that?
Yeah, 6 is what you want. You want to get successes.
If I had a stress before hypersleep,
You guys wouldn't have any more stress. Yeah, that's
Okay.
all gone.
I have 1 success.
Okay. You're a Marine. You've done this so many fucking times when you've deployed, Martha.
I have one
another-
success.
Just another day. Doc, you're getting used to this shit. You wake up and you actually are just a little groggy, but you blink and there's the realization. I'm a little tired, but
Oh, it's not as bad as it was before. Everything's staying down. It's nice.
I actually love to sleep. And I swing my feet over the edge and stand up slowly.
Tig's got nothing. How's she feeling?
Tig, when you wake up, You're not too groggy, but your arm hurts.
Oh,
You start to sit up and
too
kind of
still.
stretch it a little bit. And you look down at it. You can hear the servos moving. Everything sounds fine, but it just hurts. It
Yeah.
might be your body still just adapting, still getting used to the new pieces, and you just move it around a little bit. It seems
Oh, I've got chronic pain. I know how it goes.
Yeah. being a trained nurse, you already kind of know exactly what to do. As a combat medic, you're like, I already know how to handle this. But yeah, it doesn't
There's
feel
no way
great.
about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right. Sure enough, you see Mother on the screen wishing everybody a happy and good morning and informing each and every one of you a couple of the events that have taken place. Informing you that Isaac celebrated their birthday while you were all asleep and received your birthday message as you had hoped. They also show all of the work that Isaac has been doing since you all have been asleep. There's a notation at the bottom of the screen for Dr. Albright indicating that Mother has not that the interior cameras have not detected any evidence that Isaac discovered your book. There's also a notification that Isaac has already prepared the mess hall, and that your coffee and such, your bug juice, all of the accoutrement that you requested are already prepared and waiting for you in the mess hall. If you would like to shower first, you will find it waiting there. Mother does make the note that coffee will get cold. Then there's just out of nowhere Isaac logging that they've received an SOS and that you've all arrived at the appropriate stations. You also note that you've awoken about an hour earlier, which is not that big of an anomaly, but it does coincide with the SOS. Then there's the fact that outside the hypersleep chamber, because the doors open as you all wake up, this metal doors just, you see total darkness. The hallways are completely black. There are 3 chambers. If you look at the visual guide, you'll see that the hypersleep chamber has multiple doors that lead into the other areas of the ship. The map of the Ilios will indicate that you will see that this chamber is pretty well connected to the other areas of the ship, and everything looks like it is powered down, except for the chamber that you're in. Everything else, completely quiet. You guys can hear the familiar rumble of the Ilios's engine leaving FTL.
well, I'm gonna look into this SOS business. See what we got going on here.
Yeah, I think foregoing morning rituals in favor of making sure everything's okay, and then if we are like product placement, and then we'll see how much of an emergency it is, and if we're good for a bit, then she'll go turn back to do shower stuff. But I think
Well, when
go
you step
check
out of the hypersleep vaults, as soon as the door opens, the first thing you're greeted with is a beam of light that is kind of bouncing up and down the corridor. And when you kind of glance over to see what it is you're looking at, you see Isaac moving quickly from the bridge down through the corridor, past the deck ladder, and straight towards you here in the hypersleep vault.
Hey, good morning, SOS. What's the?
Good morning. Did you have a good sleep?
I slept pretty well. I didn't upchuck as soon as I woke up, so that's good.
Good. Yes. That would be messy.
There. Can you tell us
Yeah,
a
there's
little?
an SOS. And it sounded like well, I wasn't able to quite process all of the audio, but when I heard might find me any minute now, and there's more of them than there are of us, I thought maybe I ought to take some preemptive tactical precautions. Here's flashlights.
Thank you. Yeah.
Nice.
Martha, because you were literally a Comtech officer, electronic countermeasures and electronic warfare is what you specialize in. You instantly know, with having to make a roll or a check, that what Isaac has done is initiated countermeasures against being detected. If the Ilios is running in low power mode, it's because Isaac doesn't want y'all to get spotted.
Do you know who sent the message? Like who? Yeah, who's it from?
I can tell you that you would have.
Oh,
that
I was
information.
asking. Yeah, I was
Yeah,
asking Isaac.
Isaac.
I guess Isaac.
Isaac,
Okay.
the information. Mother was detecting that from the Jinx colony.
Did I get a character to the voice? Like, are we listening to a soprano, a baritone kind of thing that we could maybe make inference about identity?
It sounded masculine and very, very nervous. So maybe a little higher pitch than normal, but who it was, you're not entirely sure. Mother could probably run a voice analysis on it if it's somebody that she has in her record. She might be able to determine exactly who was talking.
So if it was a Wayland Nutani personnel,
If it was,
like
she would
Dr. Lucas Brown, it's possible that Mother could find a match if someone who's good at communications technology did it, which wasn't me. So then I thought, who could do this? Oh, well, she's asleep. And then I thought, well, what if she weren't asleep? And now you're awake.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Let's
I can
do
get
it.
your bug juice if you wanna if you want bug juice while you comtech.
That would be amazing.
I'll bring
Thank
it to your
you.
station and I'll meet you there.
Okay. Yep.
Okay.
Flashlight on, and I'll head over to the bridge. Is that where my contact station is? I forget.
Yeah, the contact station is on the
Yeah.
bridge. The bridge, as you look at the layout there, the pilot seats are up in front. They're the two chairs that are up right up in front of the windows. If you look sort of north of that, the northern part of the bridge, or if you were to walk into your left, the first consoles to the left of the pilot seats, right behind the tactical table of the system, is where you would be sitting. You have this big computer readout system for all of the communications and comms that the Ilios uses. So your station is one of the largest on the ship. As you move over to it, some of the running lights are active. And behind you, you can hear, as everyone's getting up, you can hear slowly getting up and groaning is Voight as he just goes, all right, what's going on?
Morning, sunshine. We got an SOS.
Shit. He
Welcome
gets
to the
up.
game, and we'll kind of like pat him on the shoulder as she heads up too.
Did we arrive at destination? Are we there?
Looks like outskirts of the system. We got to find more information before we keep moving. So
Fuck me.
we're gonna get filled in. Yeah,
Yep.
I know. This is kind of how it rolls. So sorry in
He
advance.
gets up and you can see him kind of tiptoeing, the floor, the floor not being very kind to the feet that are just waking up as he moves over to his locker. And
There's slippers right next to his pod from Isaac.
he goes right past them in his sleepy stupor of, oh my God, I have to move. I have to do work. Goes right past them, beelines for it as he's going, moves over, starts getting into his flight suit immediately and zipping up. About 10 minutes later, those of you who are headed to the flight deck find yourselves there as Martha slides into the chair and it swivels around, and you begin to flip on a couple of switches to get basically a keyboard layout so you can interact with Mother. Screen appears and it says, "Good morning, Martha. We've detected an SOS." You see the information popping up on the screen as Mother begins to immediately supply it. It appears to be coming from Jinx colony, which is located on CJ 329. No other ships have been detected. Isaac has initiated electronic countermeasures to make sure that we are not detected.
Fantastic. Good job, Isaac and Mother. Can you, Mother, please pull up that SOS message and see what we have?
It plays again, and again you hear the desperation in the voice very shortly saying that there's more of them than there are of us. It cuts off. Please send. Cutting off.
Mother, can you run a voice scan on that? See if you can identify.
Would you like to roll her comtech, or would you like me to? It's up to you.
I'll roll it.
All right, 6 dice, please.
Okay.
You can help her too if you would like to assist. You can add a die to her dice pool.
Yeah.
So go ahead and roll 7 dice. You just need a success.
Yes. 2. 2 success.
Okay. Mother does some quick calculations, and after a few moments, you see with an 87% certainty the file and face of Dr. Lucas Brown pop up on the screen. Lucas Brown is a 38-year-old scientist. He looks like maybe mixed Asian heritage, has short black hair and glasses much like mine. Looks like an average person. He does have what seems to be a pretty extensive resume and has studied at some pretty prestigious places. Doesn't look like the field researcher type. Looks like more of spends most of his times in the lab. But Mother has indicated not only is there a high probability that it is him, but she has also indicated a heightened emotional regularity in his tone and indicating that he is on the verge of panic.
With the, can I stunt on this or?
How many successes did you get?
I got 2.
Oh yeah, you can stunt on this. Absolutely.
What would it be to like clean up the message so we can hear the whole thing?
So
Isn't there the additional unexpected information stunt?
unexpected information would be the thing.
Okay. I'd like
So
to.
you're not going to be able to clear up the message, but you can still get some unexpected information. The message itself looks like it is just garbled.
Okay.
The unexpected information that you're going to get is that you recognize the garbling because you went through training as a Marine for counter electronic warfare.
Oh,
And as you're sitting there listening to it, it's breaching through what you have to imagine is a pretty unsophisticated signal jammer. And that's why a lot of that is currently being broadcast. Martha, further, that is not military hardware. It's probably something lower grade. Not quite as thorough or as powerful.
Who is anyone else on the bridge with me yet?
Yeah, I know
Yeah,
Isaac is there.
yeah.
Oh, Doc is there.
I would have
Captain Doc.
joined,
Yeah,
yeah.
everybody's there.
Okay. We got an ID, Dr. Lucas Brown, and I have a really strong feeling. Actually, I know this garbling. They're using some kind of signal jammer, not a very sophisticated one. Maybe they built it themselves, but yeah.
Oh, well, that's a relief.
Right.
Pirates.
Yeah, it could be.
What over under on
Were you kidding?
over under on them jamming their own signal is some kind of like setup.
Oh, well,
Well, upon hearing the message, my initial fear was that we might run into more of those alien xeno things.
I thought so
Yeah.
too, but now the jammer is making me unsure.
Yeah.
The planet was a desert, and I thought maybe things wouldn't be able to live there, but I thought maybe pirates could, because we heard about preying on remote colonies.
yeah. And this would be remote, I'm presuming. I think it's pirates rather than Xenos, but just in case, I'll bring my big gun.
And your grenades, because that seems to always get us out of a sticky wicket. Doesn't do great things for your ears, though. You might want to consider that.
Yeah, I should probably start wearing earplugs.
Yeah, we can get you some. Is there anything we can do ahead of time besides standard prep, or can we dig more into this transmission? Can we, if we're trying to stay stealthy, we can't quite reach out to them or scan them back.
Yeah.
But I guess if we don't care, then we could. But I don't know. I don't know what the move is here.
Well, we don't. I don't know that we're equipped to fight, and we're here to assist them. I just don't know that they're in a state to be reasonable at the moment.
Oh yeah. Do we have weapons on this ship besides
yeah.
our own? The
We
ship
have our
itself?
stuff.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Probably
No,
not.
After everything that Ilios has been through, you guys have kept any weapons you have been given or you have discovered. And Beacon, ain't no way Baker's gonna have a problem with that. He's at this point, Baker's probably like, please take an arsenal with you because you guys have the shit you guys are finding out here on the frontier.
I mean, the ship itself.
Oh, the ship itself. That's a great question. You are flying a CM-88G Bison. This is the newest Bison on the market. It's still a 50-year-old ship, but it has a lot of new upgrades. Unfortunately, all you have is a level 1 artificial intelligence, a level 2 air scrubber. You have 4 cargo bays, a cryo deck, docking umbilicals, 2 EVs, a galley, a med lab, and the capacity to land on a planet. There is no other electronic countermeasures or defense systems. That is something
Nice.
you guys could actually get for the Ilios. And it's something that can be modified. There is actually sidebar for everybody to know, because you are starting to earn money now for yourselves here on top of what you've already earned, to which, by the way, I will calculate for you. But as you all continue to progress, should you decide to keep flying the Ilios, that is actually something you could try to get upgraded. It will cost a pretty penny, but there is actually shipbuilding rules in the Alien book. So it's something you could look into if you have enough modules left. But right now, and in fact, Voight even answers the question for you and just calls out over his shoulder, "Not on this tub. She's a beauty and she's good at what she does, but flying into combat's not one of them. I've had to outrun pirates before. Flying a bison one time. It's not easy. I don't recommend it."
So if he said there's more of them than there are of us, the colony's population is listed at 40. So we're looking at more than 40
Yeah.
at the time this was sent. What did we get a date on when the transmission started at all?
No, you're not entirely sure. But
Is that something that Martha could glean, or is that like not a possibility?
you would need a log or a record log from
Okay,
the
from the
from
there.
the place
Okay,
itself.
cool.
But
We just
all
know
you-
when we received
all you
it.
know for sure is it's been transmitting for at least 45 minutes, because that's how long it is for signal strength from location. Voight's going to get up on the back of the pilot chair and just lean up against it and face the rest of the crew. And he goes, something to consider too is that it's unlikely there's an army raiding the research center. Isaac would have probably picked up any ship that's leading more than 40 people into combat or something. So he sounded panicked, right? I'm just saying, in all my years of flying out in space, I've had 2 pirate encounters, and the one thing that I've learned is when someone's terrified of what's going on, you can't depend on their intel, just that something bad is happening.
Yeah. We've unfortunately run into some pretty gnarly stuff these past few months, so I think maybe we are a little bit hypervigilant when it comes to this. But yeah, I guess, I mean, if the jammer's unsophisticated, then they probably wouldn't have the technology to be completely hidden from showing up at all. So maybe we just show up and just see what we can see.
So just want to chime in here. I've not been out on the frontier for almost a decade, so you're going to be more up to date on what's going on out here than me. If you think something dangerous is happening out here, then forget what I'm saying.
No, your expertise is good, and you should share when you have gut feelings.
Absolutely.
I think he's panicked and he's probably terrified. It sounded like he was whispering in the message.
Then you think it might be worth trying to scan from where we are now to get an insight into what we might be going into?
He glances over at you, Martha, like he's looking for backup on this, and glances back at you and says, "We can do that if you want, Cap, but I think Martha here will tell you, as anyone in the Marines, that if you start scanning, you risk being spotted. Of course, we don't scan, we don't know what we're getting into, so..."
I'd rather be spotted while we're in this position and run away than to dive in blind and be stuck.
In that case, I'm going to say I'm going to warm up the engines just in case.
I like the way you think.
What
All
if we
right.
use?
Oh, no, of course, Isaac, please.
What if we're out? We're farther out from the system, from where they would most plausibly be. They're either on the planet, because there's more of them than there are. That means they landed. You go back. So either you stay on the planet, you leave the system entirely, and they aren't even here, or you're in station keeping somewhere. In which case, you would transit in front of the sun at some point. We can fly and look and see on optical if there's anything orbiting. Jinx, we wouldn't have to warm up any sensors, right? It would just be passive optical.
If you want to eyeball it, we could do that, but we're not going to get a lot of information if we're not using the sensors. In truth, really, the big problem is the engines. That's what's going to give us away. Sensors, not quite as risky, but they are risky. And to give you in game terms, if you power down the engines, they are at a -2 penalty to detect you. You power down sensors, they're at a -1. You power them both down, they're at a -3, obviously, on top of Mother using whatever she can to go dark. So in that case, it'll be very hard to spot you guys. They would have to look out their windows at that point to see if they spotted anything moving out there. It takes 2 turns for an engineer to power up and shut down the engines. And in combat, particularly space combat, turns do not move the same way they do on the ground. They're considered a little bit longer. So, but y'all, that doesn't necessarily mean you'll be in space combat, but I do want to give you guys at least an idea of the dangers and the risks that might be involved if there is somebody out there waiting for you. But at this point, Voight slaps the back of the chair and says, it sounds like a 50-50, really, honestly. We don't have enough information. We don't know what we're up against. I think Isaac's got a good point, but I think if you want details, we might have to, spin up the sensors, take a quick look. If there is anybody in system, I'm not going to be able to spot them from this far out. So maybe what we do is plot our course, go into a drift, try to power down this engines. It'll take us a little longer to get where we're going. Maybe we do some skipping around a little bit, and every now and then when we're getting a little closer, we come up for a quick peek and shut the sensors down again.
Or we pretend we don't know anything, let them board us, and then surprise, we have taken Martha.
Oh,
I mean, it's not a terrible idea. It's just I'm scared of a little bit more than pirates. And
yeah, that. I mean, I'm trigger happy against those things, not necessarily like humans. I mean, I'll shoot if I need to, obviously.
I think it might be worth the risk to take a look first before we leave. But I have always been the cautious sort, so I will leave it to my more experienced combatants and military.
I was a field surgeon. Just because I know how to shoot a gun doesn't mean I have any sort of tactical expertise. I'm just throwing spaghetti at the wall here.
Let's take a look. A quick peek.
Okay. In which case, you'll be scanning right now with Mother's assist or vice versa. I don't know which one of you has the bigger pool, but you can decide.
I do.
Okay. In that case, you can scan out to extreme range if you choose.
Okay.
Or you can do something closer. It's up to you. If you use this, okay, so
we're pretty far out right now.
The farther out they are, the harder it is going to be to spot them, obviously.
Right.
The closer, it'll be a little bit easier. But you can go ahead and make your contact check. You also have Mother, and you also have an army of story points.
Oh, we used one of them story points.
Yeah, you should grab a story point and then grab a Mother assist. Yeah.
Absolument. So yes, story point, please.
Okay. I'm going to randomly roll. This is coming from Matt Smith, Guru Matt.
Guru Matt.
Story point for Guru Matt. All right, so that's an auto success right off the top.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll those dice and add an additional one for Mother's assist as you put out a scan.
I think. Oh no, I think that's right. +1. Yeah.
Every time you say Mother assist, I just think basketball and my mom passing me the ball for a dunk.
Yes, Mother. Okay. Did I do that right? Wait, I think I have more. Why does it feel like it's been for
NBA Jam style?
1 for Mother, and then I'm just using Mother. I'm not using any of my own tech. Right?
Yeah, but hold on one sec.
Okay.
How far, if you're doing a quick sensor sweep to detect anything, I'm going to say you're at a -4 penalty because that is extreme range penalty.
Yeah.
So
okay.
Extract 4 dice because you're basically scanning the entire system. You're just big sensor sweep.
You're okay. 1, 2, 3, 4 removed. Okay.
Yeah.
2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Thank you, story points. A lot of 5s and 4s, but
Okay, you got one success.
yeah.
Okay, 1 second here. Let's see what you detect. I believe this is technically considered sort of a passive sweep.
Word.
Okay. The scan of the system takes roughly 5 minutes as Mother begins to send out sensor pings into the system itself. And cross-referencing them with that, the PDF, as you can see, there is a planetary map there, which when we go on break here in just a few minutes, I'll go ahead and post that up on our coffee page. But you see the information coming back, and it does register the system information that you see, along with some basic planetary information that is in the second page of that packet. And if you zoom in close, you'll see it comes back with all the information about each planet and moon as it does. You do detect the outpost. There is indeed the outpost right where it's supposed to be. It is registering. It has a transponder that is still active. And you detect in that sensor sweep, there is a second signal on the planet that is not from the outpost. And it comes back with no information, which, Martha, as a Comtech Marine, your instincts show as basically your sensor sweep and Mother detects the presence of what seems to be another ship, but no information pops back on it. To you and that mind of yours and your combat experience screams no transponder. A ship that has no transponder, and it appears to be planet side right now. You detect its presence. Its engine is currently in low powered mode, so it has a reduced signal, but it is on still. The reactor is still hot, so you were able to detect it. You're not able to detect what kind of ship it is, but every instinct in your body as a Marine tells you that it's because the transponder is either deactivated or it doesn't have one.
Y'all, it's giving pirates. Yeah. What can I say? I tell them all that. Yeah.
Okay.
No
Here I
transponder.
am forgetting my cutlass.
Avast.
And my eye patch.
Well, it's not a peg leg, but for what do we do about pirates, though? That's not, not done that on a bison.
And I guess a lot of them, right? Because more than 40 potentially, unless they were already
Unless
down.
it was
It's hard to
panicked.
say.
Yeah.
Right.
40 pirates is a ton
That's
of
a lot of people.
pirates.
That's a lot.
If-
I don't think
if-
they would be that organized, like to have that many people.
And
That's
to
like
get
a pirate, like small pirate fleet or a band of ships. That's a lot of pirates if that's what it is.
So if they're still planet side, and if that is pirates, that would
Mhm.
explain why the message is still being sent out, because it hasn't been resolved, or no one knew to turn off the SOS because whoever sent it is no longer with us. So theoretically, still threat level still there.
Also,
Some sort of explanation for why they're still there at all. I mean, if you're pirates and you find a 40-person colony, don't you just take stuff and leave?
Exactly.
Why did they stay?
Which maybe it's you remember that thing Tig on that ship on that maybe it's an outbreak of some kind. There's more of them than there are of us.
That was so we flip back around to the one, but the jammer,
right? The jammer
is what I'm stuck on. If that's the case, I guess it could have been both. One that turned into the. So we don't know. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna know anything.
We have to spy for more intel. We have to be spirates.
Yes, we do.
Yeah. I think we gotta get in. I don't think we're gonna know what we're up against until we know what we're up against.
Well,
I'll get my Dixie down.
We know what we're not facing, so that's some comfort. How are we gonna put this?
What have we ruled out?
Well, we haven't spotted any signs of extraterrestrial life.
Well, we won't know that till we get down there.
Oh,
Yeah.
Martha, go ahead and roll me 2 more dice. Extreme range is only -2, not -4.
Oh.
Love that. That's when you ask that.
One success.
Oh, okay. You
Okay.
got to stunt. You got to stunt now. You got to stunt on
I
that
just
roll.
saw that under the target lock. Under the target lock
Oh.
rules in the main core book, it says extreme range is at -2, but the target ship's signature is variable. So let me just double check what their signature rating is, because that could change a few things. But 1 sec. Let's see what theirs is at. Oh, nope. That's the wrong ship. That's the wrong ship. 1 sec. Oh, okay. I don't want to make you roll again because it would be penalized by 1, but I don't want to dance around this. So yes, you're going to detect them basically, but you have a stunt die now. So you can burn
Okay.
that stunt. You basically, with that extra success, you can burn that stunt. But they have a smaller signature.
More information. maybe?
Unexpected information, please.
Okay. It looks like a Corvus class vessel, which is a slightly smaller vessel, slightly smaller than a Bison. Definitely like not unheard of for people who are raiding the frontier to be using these kinds of vessels. Their FTLs are not particularly great, but it was known in the colony wars that Corvus vessels and Bisons were used when colonists were raiding other colonies. You would also get that there is in fact no transponder, which is a classic tactic for people who are either trying to avoid detection or in fact pirates or flying a stolen ship of some kind.
This is the GM question. Actually, it could be in character too. Do we remember if any the UPP Void doesn't know about this.
Oh yeah, no, Voight has no idea.
No, yeah. We were talking around it earlier, like, ooh, that was scary once.
Tig, do we remember when we were on that ship? Wink, wink. Was there? Yeah, no, it was completely. I do remember now. Yeah, that ship was completely powered down. We wouldn't know if they had a transponder.
Yeah, we couldn't get anything out of it. It was wrecked. It was grounded.
Yeah. Because they
knew it was out there. How did they know it was out there? It was they pinged it somehow. Or did they see it come out of the sky?
Maybe they saw it because it was not far from that mine entrance, I think.
Yeah.
Could be. Yeah.
No, it was a bit. We had to take a drive down to the mine.
Yeah, that's true. But I think they did know it was that they maybe saw a crash or something like that. But
Mother
anyway,
logged a UPP signal in roughly the same location as the mine, says Sam's notes.
There was a signal.
So there was a UPP transponder then. Okay. Well, yeah, we just gotta get closer to find out more.
1 sec.
But yeah, now I'm thinking pirate again.
Okay. So, all right. So Bison, you guys are flying a Bison. So you actually have a +1 to your signature rating because you're easier to detect. However, you are powered down and at extreme range. That's -2 dice. You just sensor swept. So that's an additional. And then
so we're back to 0.
But then you also have you also went dark. And so Mother's gonna so there's 3 okay, so I have to get at least 4 successes.
Okay.
Even though you all just painted them with a sensor sweep, Mother is the 4 successes of the going dark countermeasure that you all took is going to make you harder to spot.
Yes.
So I roll this
Good
here.
team.
You see the indication come up on the screen that Mother has detected a sensor signal from deep within the system, and Mother, as she brings this up on the screen, Martha, you've seen this hundreds of times when you were on the front lines with the UPP, when you were saving people out in the colony war. You've seen this 100 times. Someone noticed somebody was out here and did a quick sweep to see if they could spot anybody.
Mm-hmm.
The terrifying thing about these moments is there's really no way of determining whether or not you've been spotted until the enemy makes a move.
Hmm.
Right now, Mother's not detecting anything except for that quick sensor sweep. And you guys have taken a lot of precautions and countermeasures. The silhouette of the bison and the fact that you did a sensor sweep kind of offsets some of those countermeasures. But Mother 6500 is no joke. That's a good AI. And Corvus class vessels don't always have the size to carry a large mainframe AI. So you're not entirely sure how this goes. But everyone can see Martha tense up a little bit as the indications come up on the screen. And you hear Voight in the pilot seat just go, "Oh, there it is. Don't know if they spotted us or not, but if we detect any oncoming ordnance, I guess we'll know."
Yep.
Ordnance. That's weapons, right? That you say they might shoot at us.
They're throwing something at us. Maybe. Yeah, we'll find out.
Captain Doc, I have one more idea before we get closer.
Yeah.
What if we just pull up a Corvus class blueprint?
You can do that. That's on file.
Just to have it on hand, in case we need to know the lay of that ship.
That sounds like a fantastic idea, Martha. If ordnance does come, how well protected is this ship? It can take a little ordnance, right? Right.
Voight looks at you and says, "No.
Crap.
No, if we get hit, we'll take serious damage." And
all right, yeah, that okay.
No, it's bad. It's very bad. We're not a combat vessel. If they launch something at us, I'll run as fast as I can. But this is a bison. We're a bus in space.
I want to take a point of stress.
Okay, gain a point of stress.
Voluntarily.
As this pops up on the screen, though, you see coming up on the screen Corvus class vessels, manufacturers Lockmart, typical crew complement, and this is not passenger or cargo, but typical crew complement is 6.
Mm-hmm.
Standard Corvus has a Mother 6000 system. They're about 54 meters long, so much smaller than your ship. Their FTL ratings typically are not very good. Certainly not as fast as the Ilios. But a standard Corvus comes equipped with an FTL rating of 20. So, much worse. But they are maneuverable, and they can be modified. That's the other thing, too, is they typically are used for salvage vessels, which makes them something of a favorite for people that are out here on the frontier taking from other people. And pirates and other people have been known to modify their own vessels with illegal weapons. Sometimes that includes missiles, rail guns. It works.
Yeah, pull it up, show everyone.
The last thing I'll say is the indication that you get that this is probably a modified Corvus is Corvus class vessels typically do not make planetfall. So they are that gives you 2 possibilities. They're either wrecked or they have a modified Corvus. Right now, it's hard to say. You would have to sensor lock them if you wanted to learn more. And if you do that, they have a high probability of spotting you.
Share all this with the team.
All right.
It looks like we've got some decisions to make then.
Yeah.
And with that, as you all drift ever closer in system inward towards this planet and an unknown encounter, we are going to take a 10-minute break. We will be back. See you soon.
Thing getting thrown. Another thing getting thrown. Foley is just having a real good time here. That sounded like an elephant. I swear that sounded like an elephant.
Hi, my name is Jake.
And I'm Sam.
And together we are the co-hosts of What We Know, the most watched source of all topics gaming. We have the fastest scoops, the hottest takes, and hell, the cutest co-hosts.
Can't deny that, but there's more to us than looks alone. Each episode, we take a dive into gaming-related stories of the week that interest us. Topics that make us go, wait, this couldn't be real, or hang on, wait, what? Or
the greatest thing that has ever happened to gaming ever.
Yes, things exactly like that. So check out Old Haven's YouTube, and every other Tuesday, you'll find out what we know.
In a world without magic, a world much like our own, danger still creeps around every corner. But where there's danger, there's always someone willing to take up the risk.
And opens her mouth wide.
God, is there anybody normal in this city at all?
Well, you know me, boys. I do love an apocalyptic event.
Since 2020, $2 Creature Feature has delivered a high-quality Monster of the Week podcast in association with Althaven ttrpg Network. In Season 1, we traveled with Severus Vardy's Traveling Fun Fair. In Season 2, we solved the mystery of what lurks at the heart of Jupiter Hollow. Now, a new team must stand up to the threats that are out of this world. $2 Creature Feature proudly presents Season 3, Atlas.
What would happen if a whole world knew monsters existed? That they could be your neighbor, your barista, or your childhood bully? Hi, we're Pest Control, a mostly Monster of the Week actual play show that just started our second season, and we're asking exactly those questions.
We are another tabletop podcasting show, but we utilize Monster of the Week very well. It feels almost like you are watching a show. It gets really dark.
Yeah, and in between all that, we're a little bit of silly little goofers.
Sam enables some extremely impactful story moments built up from themes and creature designs.
I'm William, they, them, and I'm playing Kelly Aberdeen, he, him, who is a vigilante who wants more than anything to be a monster and cannot become one.
I'm Sam, she, they, and I'm playing Nami, she, her, who is an angel who fucked up and has to make up for it.
My name is Jonas, they, them, and I'm playing Rabbit Moon, he, they, she, a demon boy who changes forms and plays with gravity. Rabbit is using the custom playbook, The Shape Changer.
And my name is Keeper Sam. Come follow Pest Control as we watch the story of Kelly, Nami, and Rabbit trying to keep the community of Norfolk safe from the encroaching influence of the city. Come check us out.
Welcome back to Beacon, everybody. We're going to go ahead and jump right back in where we left off. I think Eliza had an announcement, though, that she wasn't sure we could make, but now can.
Yeah. So we just found out today that Clear Skies Perseverance was selected for the Cusco Web Fest. Yay!
Clap hands.
Yay. Thank you once again, Queen's Court Games, for the crown grant, because I don't think I would have done this, like submitted us to all these web fests if not for y'all. So thank you. Yay. And thank you.
Thank you all,
to our
Ox
other,
crew.
our other cast and crew.
Right. With that, we're going to jump back into where we left off at the game. You guys are currently coasting through the system of CJ329, headed towards Jinx Colony, which is at the end of the system right now. You have painted what appears to be the presence of a ship, Corvus class, that is running without a transponder. Initial scans show that it is currently planet-side on the same planet as Jinx Colony, the second planet from the red dwarf star. You also detected a return scan. You have no idea if you were painted or not. Right now, it doesn't seem like anything is happening, and no target lock has been established. It would seem to indicate that no one has spotted you, unless they were doing what you were doing and just kind of casting a wide net to see if there was something out there. Now you've all been waiting. It's been about 30 minutes. At the speed you're traveling right now without the engines on, it's going to take you roughly 8 days to get to the planet, drifting as fast as you guys are drifting right now. So you'll have to decide what you would like to do. But at the moment, about half an hour passes. Mother doesn't detect the signals of any oncoming armaments, and there's no immediate ping on the sensors that somebody's approaching.
I don't know about 8 days if somebody needs help.
Yeah.
Well, I agree. It would be putting us all at risk. So I think that if we do aim to move a little faster, it should be a group consensus.
The Corvus class, it said it's manned by the schematic said it's normally manned by a crew of 6.
Corvus class vessels usually have a crew of 6, but that doesn't speak to how many people that they could be carrying.
Carrying, that's fair. Okay,
Yeah,
they're a little bit smaller than a Bison.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
not quite as it's an older ship. It's not quite up to speed as a Bison. It's a little more agile though, and it has been used often to be modified. But like the Bison, like you guys technically have a crew of like 8 to 12, but
Mhm.
you could probably fit about 80 people on this ship in cargo bays and
Mhm.
whatnot.
Yeah, they don't know how many people we have if they see us. So
All right. I say we make the move then.
You're gonna need to be a little specific, Captain.
Yeah.
When you say make a move, what are you telling me to do?
We need to get there faster than 8 days. I think that means turning the engine on and risking the ordnance.
All right. Yeah, I guess we don't have much of a choice. You see Voight turn around and just starts flipping switches, and you see the pilot's chair begin to light up as the readouts start to roll up onto the screen. Flips a couple of switches over his head. You see more starts to power up a little bit. He says, "We can leave the sensors off for now. If we want to fly with hands over our eyes, it'll make them slightly harder for them to see us."
Yeah, that sounds good. We'll fly blind.
Mother, plot a trajectory for me to follow, and give me some coordinates on basically the movement of the systems of planets so I can navigate us there without having to look around. Mother immediately brings up a model of the system, folds in 3-dimensionals, plots a course for him to follow. And on the windows in front, you see just below the pilot main port view, the viewport in front of him, you see one of the other computer screens basically open up what appears to be this square flight path with a line going through it. And he starts to immediately activating thrusters to align himself and setting the course. Right. Unless y'all have anything you want to do. Isaac, you look like you want to do something.
No, Sam is thinking a lot. Isaac doesn't want to do anything in particular. Isaac isn't Rue.
Yeah. Rue
how
is
long
like,
about
Rue is just like, get me in close. Bring them within range of the phasers now, and then beam me aboard their vessel. No away team, just me. Beam me in front of their captain.
Rue the day?
I'm sure they'd appreciate you said that in your Klingon voice.
And then Martinez is just like, I don't know if that's Starfleet. I don't know if we should be doing that.
She's like,
Not
they're
the
not
most
with me.
logical strategy, but
What the hell show am I in?
I don't know. Sensors have suddenly detected a lawsuit.
This ship is way too clean for my taste. I don't know. I think I want to go
Activating the
back.
Lord
actually.
Portico countermeasure system. Oh God, it says hashtag not your lawyer. We have to run. All right.
This course.
So on the course, as he's flying, you guys will reach the planet in a little less than 2 hours.
Siri decided she wanted to answer my question.
Yeah. Siri is like, Siri is mother. Let's be honest.
Oh, good.
All right. Yeah, it'd be
Sorry.
about 2 hours on course right now. So,
Okay.
but you guys aren't flying quiet anymore. Of course, you're also out of options. So with that, Void accelerates, activating up the engines, bringing them online. You all hear the rumbling across every deck as the Ilios powers back up. Lots of the lights inside, some flicker on, but you notice that they're only the emergency lights that are coming on. You see him flip a couple of more switches and say, I'm going to keep our electronic signature as low as I can. But we're just going to have to be ready.
Well,
with
if we've
that-
got 2 hours to kill, I think some birthday coffee might be my next step for the morning. We have a birthday to celebrate.
Okay.
It's true.
I got your video.
Did.
Yay.
Okay, so
Did you? Oh,
yo, please, I'm just talking out loud because I'm doing some rolls. Keep going.
did you find the book?
Yeah, Doc wouldn't tell me what it was until you found it, so
Yeah, me
I
I'm
kept
also curious.
looking. I kept looking. I looked for days.
Doc?
What?
What can I say? I'm sneaky. There's things about me you don't know.
It's a security hazard or something.
Oh, well, I suppose we better check with the captain to make sure that there's permission for such a security risk.
Oh,
Captain,
no,
what do you
but you're
think? I think it's all okay. Well,
Well, when you put it that way, I mean, you can't argue
I'd
with
like
that.
to lodge a complaint with my commanding officer. Our ship's doctor has denied me a book.
Now that seems like an infraction worth taking seriously, Captain.
I'm gonna have to have that medic sent to the brig. You'll love it and you'll appreciate it even more when you actually find it. And there's a note in there for you.
There's even more reading denied.
Well, since the doctor wants to be stingy with his gifts, Tig's gonna go into her front pocket. She has not changed out of what she was slept in. I don't think so. Like she had it in in her cryo chamber with her in case we were gonna have a birthday party right when we woke up. But she comes out with a little tin. She says, "It's not really reading, but maybe it'll pass the time." It's a game my uncle showed me when I was little. I took his copy with me when I went on my first couple of tours, and I gave it to someone else. But I had Hassan help me makeshift this while we were on Beacon. And she hands it to you, and you open it up, and it's a triangle made of like some sort of like a light synthetic material, and it has 15 divots in it, and 14 of the divots have little magnetic pegs in them. And she says, the way I knew it best was with like golf tees, but we didn't have any golf tees on Beacon Station. But I was always told it was called Tricky Triangle.
Sorry, Caitlin, to interrupt, but your mic is
Eat
kind
your
of there. We
Oh
go.
no, I can eat the mic. Sorry. I always knew it as being called Tricky Triangle, but I'm sure there are other titles. It's just a little game that it reminds me of things like Sudoku and tic-tac-toe, but you don't need paper and there's no consumed materials. Anyways, you just jump pegs until you want to get to one peg is the goal. So you jump from one. Anytime you jump a peg, that peg goes away, and you want to get to one peg to win. I'm not very good at it. I think I've only gotten to one a couple of times in my life. It's not really much. It's just a thing that I grew up with with my uncle. We would play it over coffee. Like, oh, you're gonna like it's just
thank you.
Morning coffee game that maybe you could
Thank you. Squeeze.
Squeeze. Okay.
Da,
Let
da,
me roll on the
da.
critical hit table here.
Not
Kind
the
of
other
internal
elbow.
damage as
Roll
a 7
just a
synthetic shows their
panic
love.
roll.
Okay. I just need to.
Perhaps that's what you get from Tig.
away.
Thank you.
Okay.
I have all the pockets in the world. I have a work suit.
It's true.
It goes
Yeah.
in my pocket.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we have time. We have 2 hours. Martha hands you a data tape.
Or that.
And it says dance. That's it. It just says dance on it.
Oh.
What kind of dance is this?
As many as I could find. I figured, you had all that music from O'Donnell, so you might want to like learn some dance moves. So I found some like dance lesson tapes from all over different systems and stuff.
I'm gonna just like move over to your console a little. Like, may I want to look.
Oh yeah,
like just preview.
Mm-hmm.
So what kind of dance? What's like the first dance on the tape?
I think it's an old Earth video, so it's kind of like crinkly data wise on the sides, and it's an older refined gentleman in a tux, and he says, and today we are learning the salsa. And this makes no sense. He brings a woman enters the frame. She has a very frilly dress on, and they start doing the steps and teaching the steps of salsa. So there's like some ballroom dance. There's another video where someone else is teaching the Charleston,
which works beautifully as a solo dancer.
There is, you know what? I'm going to throw it in there. There is a woman, ancient Earth, maybe middle-aged white woman with short brown hair and a blue tracksuit, teaching you hip hop dance.
Oh no! Oh no!
She made it, y'all. She made it into the future. She's not the only hip hop teacher, though, who made it into the future.
Thank you.
One of many hip hop, because there's also different. There's b-boy. There's like lots of different.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's tons of stuff. Yeah.
It's all on there. There's also like a Temptations type of group that's like teaching you that kind of dance, like doo-wop dance. That's not doo-wop, you know what I'm saying?
So I think for like a fair amount of like probably the next hour or so, Isaac is gonna be just like looking at each, like starting to get previews of like 20 seconds at a time, which is how we get this like series of them. And you can just see them like maybe wiggling a little in their chair. Like they're mirroring some of the movements at just like 1% level. Just a little wiggle.
Oh, don't be shy.
It's subconscious. It's just like they're watching it and they're just
already learning. Yeah.
just trying to take it in.
I must say, well, I can't give you my gift because you have to find it. I did work with a colleague in acquiring another gift for you, and this is from Dr. Impressive, if you will. And it's just a tiny white box, and when you open it, there's a laser pointer inside.
From each of you, hours of entertainment. Thank you.
Not many people get to remember their first birthday, so like, had to make a good one.
I mean, hell, I can't remember my last one.
Oh goodness, Doc.
Can't remember being one.
Oh yeah, we're too squishy in the brain to remember it when we're one.
Human mind is fickle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, don't really fully start forming memories that young. Maybe
occasionally someone will have like at like 2, 3, you'll have someone that stands out, but yeah, not really full memories.
I ate a red crayon. That's my first memory. Not a full one, just a piece of one.
My 5th birthday, I hit a pinata and it landed on a hornet's nest and it ruined the party.
I was just gonna say,
I'm so sorry.
It's fine.
I was just gonna say I remember the fish stickers on my nursery wall, but that's way more fun.
I shouldn't laugh because did anyone get stung?
Me, absolutely. My mother ran
I'm sorry.
faster than I've ever seen. Hopped the fence like an Olympic hurdler. I think that might be why the memory sticks in my head. So
on the intercoms, you hear Voight say, as y'all are in the middle of talking, you hear Voight say, "I need everybody at the stations right now."
Well, we got a whole birthday party in. That's probably that's got to be a good record. We did the whole thing.
Reality.
Isaac, I'm going to need you down in the
Projects the
engineering.
tape and yeah, is like, thank you on their way out. Exactly.
And he sounds a little panicked. You can hear it in his voice saying,
Everyone to your stations right away.
Mm-hmm.
Isaac, I need you in engineering as quickly as you can get there.
Engineering.
On my way.
I don't think Tig has like a station. Like what can she do that is actually useful in this?
funny
Because she's
thing, in this particular moment, Tig, you've never really, as far as I know, you've never had a station. In
No.
fact, you're not sure Voight even knows if you all have stations. He's just telling everyone to get to their stations.
Yeah.
The only one that has a designated spot where they do work on the bridge, aside from Isaac in the co-pilot seat, is Martha.
Mhm.
And of course, the captain, who needs to be there to make the calls.
Yeah,
I'll
Tig
talk about
just-
the med bay, but you're right.
like on the bridge. No, I mean Tig would go up to stay informed and if there's anything she can do to help. But like I think she has a moment of like, oh, yeah, this is new. I don't do anything. I don't do anything here. But she'll head up with everyone.
Okay. Everybody heads up to the bridge, and you can notice that right now Voight has the Ilios in acceleration. He's starting to slowly accelerate the ship, and you can feel the Ilios starting to rumble more than she's ever rumbled since you guys have had her. And as this is happening, he says, "I need somebody on senses, and I need to know we don't have any guns. I keep forgetting we don't have any guns on this ship."
Need to know what?
Need you in the census chair, if that's all right, Martha. And he's gripping.
Yeah, I'm. Martha's already there, basically.
As you get down into the chair, you see the passive sensors have detected that there is a ship at extreme range. No longer planet side. He's detected what looks like a Corvus class vessel that has apparently taken to the sky.
Well, that answers whether or not it's grounded.
Mm-hmm.
So we're
And maybe-
entering into our first ever ship combat here.
Oh Lord.
Now, it doesn't have to be a sink or swim situation, but ship combat in the Alien RPG is very much like submarine combat, because the way this is going to work, first of all, do you guys have access to the PDF, the core book PDF? Because it's good to have the ship combat section open just to have as a point of reference, so you guys could have it on hand. Super useful to have available. But or if you're using Demiplane, you can just type in ship combat and it should take you straight to the section. You'll have to scroll down a bit to see some of the steps. But before the battle, the ships have detected each other. Everyone is at extreme range right now. And all you know is that it's a Corvus class vessel. You've pinged it. So the first thing that's going to happen is we're going to, as they would normally do, is draw initiative. Now, since we don't have cards, this would be a D10 roll. So I would say,
Do we
roll
roll separately, or is it ship and ship?
well, it's in this case, it's for ship to ship. So it's not that everyone's rolling separately.
Okay.
And the way this would work is both captains are the ones that roll the initiative card or draw the initiative card or roll the die here. So in the case here, we're just going to roll a D6.
Okay.
So just to keep it simple. So go ahead and roll me a D6, Captain.
All right. I rolled a 5.
Well,
I'm not nervous.
The good news is, I'm running this the way. Curious thing about these games is actually higher is worse. You want to roll lower, and you are lucky because they rolled a 6, so you guys are actually going first. So, in that case, Y'all are going first. Since you're going first, the GM is going. I'm going to go first in the turn of the 4 phases as actions are declared. Now, the reason why that happens is now you get to react to what you see them doing. They don't get to react to what you do. So, the GM is going to go first in the turn first phases after. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I have that backwards. So we're in turn 1 of the initiative phase. So the way this is going to work is, I may have had that backwards, actually. He may actually get to go first here. So when you encounter an approaching ship, you draw initiative cards. Works just like in personal combat. Lower is better. But only the captain draws the card. Each turn personal combat has 4 phases, and each ship gets to perform 1 action in each phase. All ships perform their actions in the phase in initiative order before the next turn. So the first phase is censor phase, declaring the action of the captain of each ship who's giving the orders to the active crew members, sensor, operator, pilot, gunner, engineer, to perform 1 action from the list that is available, which you will see in the space combat phase. So don't sweat it. It's actually quite easy. It's all just D6 rolls and whatnot. It's just knowing where the section is. A crew member can only perform 1 action a turn per turn. There are no fast and slow actions in space combat, so you don't have to worry about that stuff. You only get 1 action per turn. Also, there are no stunts for skill rolls. So instead, the action listings below just determined the outcome of this. Unlike personal combat, guessing your enemy's moves is difficult to do in space combat. Yes, thank you, Isaac. It's page 192 in the core book, if you at home would like to follow along with us. Therefore, each ship will select an action in its phase secretly. So, crew of the Ilios, you'll note that on our private Discord channel, there is a channel there that says players only. So if you would like to discuss what you are going to do and what you would like to do, and then you can tell, once I declare my actions and we've decided what we're going to do first, then we'll have the pilot execute any maneuvers that you want the pilot to do. So that's going to be the first thing. So actions are declared simultaneously and then performed in initiative order. Once all 4 phases are completed, new turn begins. Some actions during space battles are reactive, just like blocking is in normal combat. So like reducing your signature, for example, is a reaction. So to declare the actions, blah, blah. So the first round of actions as it unfolds in the combat action table is sensor actions are the first thing up. So in this first round of actions, don't tell me what y'all are planning on doing, but make some quick calls here. It's the sensor phase, and you have a couple of options. You can target lock, go dark, or if your sensors were offline, you can power them up.
Which means we only have one option because narratively we were declaring we were running everything that wasn't engines as dark as possible, meaning we'd have to spend our sensors turn powering them up if we want to power them up. They are coming toward us, so it could improve their firing solution, but otherwise.
So you'll see in the space combat actions, you get to pick which one you want to do. I'm going to write down what I'm doing to keep.
Stress.
Let me know when y'all are ready to go. There is a separate panic roll table for space combat. It's its own kind of delightful. So y'all are coasting through the dark of space. Just give me the heads up when y'all are ready, and we'll initiate this.
Okay. We do these one at a time, or you want us to figure out all of our phases?
No, one at a time. So
one at
this time, you'll just tell me what you wanted to do for the sensor round, and when you're ready, let me know, and I'll tell you what I chose, and you tell me what you chose.
Okay.
Y'all ready?
We're waiting on one more thought.
It's not an emergency. I mean, we can always swap by the time. Based on velocity, we have a little bit of time. But...
Y'all are currently at extreme range. But space combat happens just like it does in actual modern aviation combat, where usually target locks and missiles are fired from up to 5 miles away. So in space combat, it depends on what weapons they're using. They might have to close in, or they might have something typically only military grade weapons can be fired from this kind of range. Let me know when y'all are ready.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. You guys got the initiative. I'm going to go ahead and tell you that I chose target lock. What did you choose?
We chose to fire up the sensors.
Okay, so you bring the sensors back on, and now I'm going to roll. So on your turn, the Ilios' ship sensors come to life as you give the order for Void to power up the sensors again. And he goes, all right, Cap, turning them on now. Switches them on. Says, get ready, Martha. You're about to see the whole night sky in a second. He flips them on. What's eerie about this, Albright, is there's an enemy out there that's looking for you, but the vastness of space, all they are right now is a blip on the sensors. All you can see are shining dots out that main viewport. You have no clue where this person is, whoever they are, just that they've spotted you. I'm now going to make a target. I'm going to use a comtech check here to try to lock on to the ship. Locking on to you guys, the target lock will enable the fire weapon action when that rolls around. You guys are extreme range now. So right now, it's hard to say what kind of weapons they got. So I'm going to make a comtech check for the target lock. And because your silhouette is... Oh, but hold up. You had sensors powered down. Hold on, I'm going to re-roll that. You had sensors powered... Okay, so you're at a silhouette of +1 because you're a bison. So I'm going to get a +1 die. But your sensors were down, so that's actually -1 die. So... yeah, that's it. All right. One success. You guys have been locked. Computer lights up, indicating that a vessel in the distant extreme range off deeper into the system has indicated that it is locked onto your vessel. So someone has painted the ship. You guys hear the alarms begin to beep, beep, beep. Mother starts immediately alerting everybody on the bridge. That's going to take us to phase 2. This is a pretty critical phase. Phase 2 is the piloting phase. The actions you get now, same thing. Make decisions, don't tell me. The actions are accelerate, decelerate, maneuver, ram, or dock. So go ahead and decide what you guys want to do next. All you know is whoever they are, they've spotted you.
Well, there really is no benefit to maneuvering either.
At this range?
Yeah, that's what I was...
Yeah, at this range, it's kind of like...
Yeah.
However, you can get creative. And these are the actions that are available to you. But feel free to pitch things to me. And you do have story points, don't forget.
I think we will be pitching you at some point reasonably
I had a feeling.
soon, based on internal conversations.
Yeah. We gotta get used to the how this all
Oh,
flows.
you thought we would
Yeah, don't
shenaniganate
sweat it.
outside the strict structure?
Don't sweat it. I thought this honestly, I liked doing this live during the game because I knew this would help us get used to the system that we have yet to use in the RPG. Plus, it's a good opportunity for audience to see how space combat works in Alien. I think it's pretty awesome. It's very expansy in that way. Kind of operates in that same...
That's everybody, though, yeah?
Yeah, I think we're in consensus.
We're in concordance.
Okay.
Yeah.
They are accelerating. What are you guys doing?
What coincidence.
Okay. So then y'all are going to go first. You're going to make a piloting check. That's going to be... Voight is going to make a piloting check for you guys. We'll pull up Voight's stats real quick. Because he can actually, if he roll... And he's a pretty good pilot. So if he rolls well enough, then he actually might be able to... Where are you, Voight? Oh, there we are. Okay, so Voight's... I should have had this ready. Voight's piloting is... Piloting of 3 and agility of 5. 2, 4. I'm
kind of really digging the space combat in this. This is
3. You guys You give the order, Captain, for Voight to accelerate. He goes, aye, Cap. Just puts on the burner. And he is going to be... Oh, you know what, though? He can be assisted by Mother, so we can add an extra die here. Because Mother...
Let's go.
Mother has your Mother 6500 has a piloting skill of 5. So... Okay, he got 1 success. So that is going to close the range now. Y'all are going to move from extreme into long range. And I'm tracking it on my little sheet here. And then it's their turn to roll. They also are accelerating. You see that Mother detects the bloom of an engine accelerating as you guys are starting to race towards one another. And they also roll 1 success. So they are going to close. Okay. Y'all are at long range now. The next stage of combat would be a gunner's action. You have no countermeasures and you have no weapons aboard the Ilios.
Yep.
This is a support ship at best. And as Voight has pointed out, y'all are basically an aid vessel, a cargo hauler in space. So on this action, you all kind of wait breathlessly to see what happens. Nothing indicates that they've opened fire. So the phase 3 is going to be skipped to phase 4, engineering. This is where Isaac would come into play. Emergency repairs, power up the engines if they were powered down, open the airlock for whatever reason. Reactor overload in case you're just feeling like, let's play another game. So
no actions from
no actions
engineering
here.
space.
That's going to take us to round 2. That's going to take us back to the sensor phase. Second round of combat as y'all are starting to roar towards the colony ship. It's one of those weird sensations, Doc. You can feel the power of the vessel underneath you, but it doesn't look like y'all are moving, except for you can see what looks like one of the moons of the system is actually approaching faster and faster in the viewport. What would you guys like to do for the sensors in the sensor phase? You still have the initiative, so...
It has to be one of these. It has to be one of these 3 available things?
He said that we can get funky with it if we have an idea.
You can get funky with it.
That's what I just put in the chat, is if that maybe
this would be funky
reasonable...
o'clock, I think.
Funky o'clock?
If that would be a reasonable pitch.
If
that
you your sensors lock onto the ship, and you can now target with your weapon in this turn. Oh, so he has to roll target lock again on you if he wants to keep the target lock. If you're using a map markers pack, flip the ship marker to show it's been. Okay, cool. Subsequent turns, you still need to target lock the same ship in order to fire upon it, unless the enemy goes dark. You don't need to... Oh, I see. You still need... Oh, I have to select the target lock and maneuver in this if I want to keep the target lock, but I don't have to roll for it again unless you guys go dark. If you decide not to go dark, then every turn I just choose that maneuver, then the target lock will automatically succeed.
We are getting funky with it.
What would you like to do?
Our version of that is pitching you, can we do the opposite of going dark and try to contact them?
Yes. You can use this action to send out a message. What would you like to say? You flip on the comms.
Yeah.
Okay. What would you like to say?
Is everyone in agreement with what's in the chat?
Mm-hmm.
From Doc? Okay. I'll wait, Captain, it's all you.
This is Captain Albright of the Ilios. We're looking to land planet side. We're not looking to pick a fight. If you want to make contact with us and resolve this situation, let's do it on the ground. What do you say?
There's quiet, and a few moments later you hear static coming through, and you hear,
"This is the captain of the Break Even. Power down your vessel and get ready to be boarded. We see any weapons, you're all gonna die. This is all the chance you get.
Voight looks back over his shoulder and goes, oh, damn it, I was going to invite him to my birthday party, but not anymore.
Yeah, he doesn't sound friendly. Huh. We don't have a ship weapon to be spoken of, but we do have weapons.
All right, so this is going to bring it into the sensor round. And we're going to head into the pilot round. Go ahead and make your call. What are you guys doing?
Ooh, this is stressful.
Y'all haven't gained, hasn't been any stress points yet either.
Right, I think, Captain, depending on you, I think we may have concordance.
Stress levels are handled just like in personal combat. However, when rolling a panic roll, you use that. Yeah, okay. In addition, you cannot relieve stress during active space combat. Nothing relieves stress. No banter, no nothing.
We all in agreement?
Mm-hmm. Let's do it.
All
Okay.
right.
So then, as we are moving into the piloting actions, they chose accelerate. What did you choose?
What a coincidence.
Yeah, except ours is towards the planet.
Okay. Y'all are beelining for the planet?
Yep.
All right.
If they want our stuff, they're gonna have to follow us.
Let me make a roll. As you hear Voight go, hey, that's what I was thinking too. As he starts to immediately retriangulate his trajectory towards the planet. And he says, I'm going to see if I can put some moons between us. Maybe I can, I don't know, help us not get shot.
Yeah. We have a faster FTL than them, right?
Yeah, but spinning up the FTL, that's not something you can just do on the fly.
Oh, right.
They're more maneuver, but we are
Got it.
faster in like far travel.
2?
Yes.
Okay, so one sec. Oh yeah, because actually I forgot about the thruster bonus that the Corvus gets. What is your thruster bonus? You guys have a 0 thruster bonus. You are slower.
Oh, noes.
You are slower than they are. They're smaller, so it makes sense that they're a little bit faster. But I rolled 2 successes for him, so let's see how they do.
We might be starting from higher velocity.
Don't forget,
We were coming into system.
Don't forget though, you guys have to be the ones to tell me when to use a story point. Otherwise, I just roll. I don't want to spend anything. So if you ever get they actually don't roll any successes for their pilot check this round. So you guys are going to move a step closer. No, actually, you moved 2 steps closer because, because he rolled 2 successes. So 1, 2. Oh, interesting. Okay. On their round, they're still out where they are. That is going to bring it into the piloting check. It is now the gunner's round. Shoot, and nothing happens. Going to the engineering check, and unless there's anything you want to do there.
Nope. No
Okay,
actions at this time.
Takes us back to the sensor round. Go ahead and declare what you're likely to do. You pretty much know what they're probably going to do.
Should we go to our?
And then
Oops,
let
sorry.
me know.
Forgot we were texting.
Yeah.
We all copacetic?
Gillies is having a.
No, I got you. Whoops, I forgot I was in mute.
I'm only getting reactions, so I'm like, what is going on? All right, let me know when you're ready.
Almost ready.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. We're ready.
All right.
I
They
put
are
that.
going to target lock. They're going to try to keep a target lock on you.
And
What are you doing?
we are going dark.
Okay.
Sensors down, yeah.
Sensors down. So reactive action.
wait. Oh crap! I just realized something.
What did you just realize?
Can we? Are we able to just skip a turn?
You mean one of the phases and do nothing during a phase?
Yeah.
You have to take an
I mean,
action.
we've been doing it for Gunner.
Yeah.
we
well.
did.
Yeah, you don't have
We
to take it.
we
You guys,
skipped our last two, actually.
the last one you decided to use comms instead of using your sensors. So
Yeah.
you can totally skip a phase if you want. But if keep in mind, you do get a reactive action, so you can go dark if you'd like.
I guess another question is: does going dark need to mean powering down the sensors, or can we just not respond, go quiet?
You don't have to power down the sensors, but you can power down the sensors if you want to reduce your signature. It makes it harder for them to spot you.
Okay.
You don't have to, no. In which case, if you're going to go dark, then Martha is going to use her rather outrageously good Comtech check with the assistance of Mother to try to lower your energy signature so that they lose sight of you. And if it succeeds, they lose target lock and they don't know where you are.
Okay. I yep, I'm cleared up now. I'm good to go dark.
Okay.
I thought it meant other things too.
So you're going to go ahead and roll a Comtech check. And you're going to do this with the assist of Mother. And every success you roll is going to cancel out one of the successes that they had to target lock you. And if you break target lock, then they lose sight of you.
Story point, please.
Story point.
Yes, please.
All right. You flip into a story point here. This story point comes to you. Did I close? Okay, good. I thought I closed it there. I'm going to roll. I'm just going to randomly roll to see who this is coming to you from. This is coming to you from Rogan27.
Hey, thank you, Rogan27.
So this, add an auto success and go ahead and make your roll.
Okay. Oh,
And don't forget to add a die from Mother too. You haven't done that yet.
Thank you. I have 3 successes.
3 successes
Let's
breaks
go,
your target
Martha.
lock.
Plus Rogan27 story point.
Okay.
So 4.
4 successes, you break target lock.
Can we stunt on that?
They lose. You can't stunt. No,
think we
There's
can't,
no
yeah.
Oh,
stunting.
that's right.
Yeah. But you see, essentially, the Mother immediately lights up as you guys flip down. As soon as you accelerate to this high-speed burn, sure enough, Voight turns hard into that oncoming moon. You see what looks like a dwarf planet. It's about the size of one, larger than a standard moon, quite large. As you guys start moving towards it, while this would be somewhat small on the planetary scale, to you, there is a wall of atmosphere that this little dot is flying past. These swirling dark blue and purple clouds of this gas-like moon that you guys sail past. Mother begins to immediately indicate that you guys are flying past a gravity well, and warning indicators come on just as you guys start powering down all non-essential systems again. And you hear, as this is happening, and flipping the switches, Voight just goes, "Sorry, Mother. I know you don't like being woken up and put back to sleep again and again." And he starts flipping the switches. Mother's words come up on the screen is like, "You are not shutting me off, are you, Voight?" And he's, no, I'm not shutting you off. I'm just, talking pilot bravado. You know how it goes. And just keeps flipping a couple of switches and the bridge goes dark. You all see the target lock slip away on the sensors. He just blinks away. That is going to be the end of the sensors round. It is now a piloting check. They have lost the target lock on you. What would you guys like to do for the piloting check? This is a crucial moment right now because at the moment you guys are racing towards one another, but they've lost sight of you. They're still out there though. Last sensors indicated that they were beelining straight for the Ilios. Go ahead and make your call.
All right.
Right.
Captain, Dr. Captain.
Let me know when you're ready.
Oh, right. let's go ahead and accelerate this thing.
They chose decelerate. So, I'm going to go ahead and make a quick piloting check.
We also aim to quote our brilliant colleague here to change vector.
They did not pass the roll, so they're actually staying right where they are. As they're kind of flailing a little bit to find out where you all disappeared to. I'm going to roll for your pilot now, who is y'all are getting. If they're still out, where actually you guys.
I would like to story point for Voight.
Story point. Okay, so auto success on this. This is coming
Story
from.
point. Story point.
This is from Shock 22.
Thank you.
all
Get us
right.
out of here.
Here we go.
Thank
Voight
you for the
rolls. With the story point, Voight gets 2 successes. And that is going to take you guys on. You guys don't have target lock, and they don't have target lock on you, but your sensors are indicating that they are very close now. They are about to enter, and you guys are about a step away. They're technically in medium range right now. If you looked out the window, you still can't see them, but in short range, you might be able to catch an engine bloom out there since you guys are coming straight at each other. So there's a bit of a tension building up on the bridge as the sensors are indicating that you are quickly approaching this armed pirate vessel. They haven't opened fire on you yet. All right, that's the piloting check. It's now the gunner round. No incoming fire this round. Switching to the engineering check, unless you guys have anything you would like to do that's not in the standard actions, we'll start over the round to the next actions.
I don't think I need to make emergency repairs, and I'm not at present aiming to be boarded.
Yeah.
So I think
okay.
I think we proceed.
All right. In which case, top of the sensor round, go ahead and make what you're going to do. I'm guessing you're leaving the sensors offline, and the sensors are online. You guys are dark right now.
Correct.
Okay. Let me see if I have to beat the number of successes you rolled to paint you again. Let's see. Reactive enemy ship tries to get a target lock on you. You can try to break them and slip away, which you guys are doing right now by reducing your infrared and electronic emissions or exploiting a sensor blind spot, such as a nearby star, which you guys are kind of also doing. Make a comtech roll for each success. You eliminate 1 success rolled by the enemy. In addition, you can reduce your signature by turning things off as part of the Go Dark action. I think you have to take the Go Dark action again. An enemy ship. No, I like it better that you don't. I like it better that they have to beat those number of successes to reacquire you. That makes more sense to me. Because it's kind of like throwing up a firewall. So on this turn, you would have to take the Go Dark action no matter what. If you want to keep that. So let me know when y'all are ready.
Negotiating. Please hold.
Yep, no problem. Oh boy.
It's a real meeting of the minds happening right now.
Anybody who looks over at Voight can see that his hands are shaking, but not because of anxiety. It's because the Ilios, she is running right now. He's got her fully throttled up. So y'all are hauling ass right now, blasting straight towards this planet. Let me know when you're ready.
Achieving concordance.
This is Sam's way of saying, back off! I'll tell you when I'm ready.
Almost there.
Yeah, I think we got it.
On target.
All right. We all golden with that then?
Yep.
All right.
Okay. They are attempting to achieve target lock.
And we are gonna skip senses.
Staying dark.
You're gonna
We're taking no actions. We're staying dark. No action.
Staying dark? Okay, cool. And I have to beat, what was it, 3 successes?
4, I believe, with
Four
the
successes. Okay. Oh, also don't forget, you can always push rolls too. We kind of forget that sometimes. You don't. They do not spot you. The vastness of space makes it pretty hard to spot a microscopic needle flying at sublight speed in a giant haystack the size of everything that ever existed. So they don't spot you this turn, which is going to take us into the piloting round.
I have a question before we declare. We're going. Did we go past that moon already?
Y'all are kind of going past it right now.
And they're coming at us too? Like
Last you saw their trajectory is they were basically heading from the planet. So they're actually headed straight towards you guys right now.
Towards us. And we're heading towards the planet.
Yeah.
Got it.
That's essentially why you two are about to intersect, is because
Okay.
y'all were headed straight towards the planet and they were headed straight away from it.
Got it. Would changing our, I guess, vector, direction, right? In this case, would that be a maneuver?
A maneuver.
Or are we
essentially-
already like?
Yeah, maneuvers in this, it's only used for trading initiative cards with the other ship. In this case,
right.
It's like not anything for us right now.
Sorry, I'm taking
you
it
guys
very
want
literally.
initiative. So if they want to try to swipe,
Yeah.
if they want to try to swipe initiative cards with you, they
No,
can
thank
do
you.
that.
Well,
So
yeah,
let
we
me,
don't want to
let
do
me
that.
know what y'all want to do.
I think
Yeah, I think-
we're we've decided. Cap, are you good, Captain? Okay.
Oh, absolutely, please.
Okay.
Okay,
We
what
would
are y'all
like
doing?
to accelerate.
Okay, they chose maneuver. So
Okay.
y'all are going to get to go first. So go ahead and I'm going to roll for Voight. Y'all are
Sorry,
accelerating again.
As
Come on,
opposed
give me
piloting.
1, 2,
Yeah.
3.
Do we want a story point on this?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Or
we
do
want
we-
to
Okay.
handle it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we,
I think succeeding at the maneuvers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Keeping our initiative would be good.
So you spent a story point?
Yes.
correct
Okay.
for Voight.
You better
Once
drive
again,
this thing
Oscar
like
coming
it's
to the
stolen.
rescue. This one is from Duran 452. With 2 successes, you guys are going to move right into their zone. You go from medium range with 2 successes right into the exact same zone as they are. And they use their action to maneuver. So this is to trade initiative cards. So I'm rolling against myself here. So yeah, Voight it's an opposed piloting roll modified by thrusters. Y'all's thrusters are terrible. Y'all have a thrusters of 0. You're a big space bar.
Hey.
They are. Against a Corvus, they have a +1, but you guys have a better pilot and a better mother system. So let's see how this goes. You still have you can't spend a story point because it's the same round. 1 story
Oh,
point.
I thought that's
round.
what we were. I thought we were story pointing on that opposed check.
No, you story pointed on the accelerate.
Oh, I thought. Okay, that's what.
Yeah. Did you want to story point on the maneuver?
On the
instead?
maneuver.
I didn't know if we
No,
wanted.
we didn't. Did we?
Correct
Yeah,
me
we
if you do.
Yeah, we
So
did.
yes,
Okay.
we're trying to counteract
Then
their
you are not in
maneuvering.
their zone yet. You were 1 zone away. You're
Okay.
at short range right now.
All right, yeah, we can. That's
Okay.
I think we're good with that, right, guys?
That's I'm fine.
Alright,
It's fine.
cool.
I just misunderstood. I
All right,
misunderstood.
I'm rolling.
Here we go.
That's okay with the story point. That's probably a good thing. They have thrusters, so it's almost the same dice pool here. And oh boy, you guys just lost the initiative.
Okay. Okay.
They are going. Basically, you guys can see a flare, a bright flare out one of the port windows now that you have to imagine is the engine exhaust of an oncoming ship. Corvus class ships are about a little less than half the size of Bison, so it's pretty large and it's moving towards you all. And you hear Voight say, "There they are. I see them. I don't know if they see us or not, but they still haven't painted us yet." And he starts angling a little closer to the moon. And he goes, "Son of a bitch, I think they're trying to move behind. I think they've spotted us." And that's going to be the end of that round. On the gunnery round, y'all don't have an action to take, but they do. As unfortunately, though, they could not paint you guys. They could not get that sensor lock. So the Ilios detects a weapon signature being powered up. However, no target lock is achieved because you guys went dark and they couldn't find you. So their computer is having trouble locking onto you as y'all are racing past them. And that is going to be the end of the gunnery round. engineer round. Nothing to be done unless Isaac is doing something a little outside the box. Otherwise, we can skip back to the sensor check where they are going to try to target lock you probably. That sound good?
It says there are 2 turns to power up an engine.
Mhm.
How quick to power down? It doesn't, like, it only says power up.
So shutting an engine down is pretty quick. You can basically flip the switch. It's warming up a cooled engine that takes a hot minute. But shutting them down, yes, you immediately cut your power signature in half.
And what is we've been accelerating for like 3-4 rounds. What is our velocity such that if we did not add, I mean, it's space, there's no initiative, there's no inertia, like we are speed now. Yes.
So the way this would work by combat action is that you would no longer be allowed to use the accelerate action on a pilot check.
Right.
You could only use the decelerate action or the maneuver check. They would still have the option of using accelerate.
Right.
So that's how that would go. Otherwise, and they have to roll. So the way I would say is that since you're continuing on your trajectory, if they fail their accelerate check, you guys are going to drift apart based on a standard movement of success. Yeah, basically.
Right,
So
because it's velocity. Like we've accelerated, we have velocity, and I presume what makes us slow is acceleration. Because again, we're in space; there's no friction.
That's right.
So now that we have built up hella velocity, and they decelerated for at least 1 turn,
they would have to accelerate again, and they could lose
be rough. Like they have to get at least 1 accelerate to try to keep up with us, right?
Yeah, they did it. They decelerated and they did a maneuver, so they had 2 rounds of not accelerating.
That's true.
On us.
We have 2 accelerates on them.
They are a faster ship, but it would essentially mean that they could catch you still easily, but it would take them longer to if they spotted.
If our engines go down, it makes it even harder for them to see us too.
That's correct.
So like they could
that's what we're.
They could completely lose us.
It's a risk.
They could completely lose us, and we ride our built-up speed. In.
It's a risk
into orbit.
So what you can do.
So how far are we from our goal? Like,
the way
are
this
we going fast enough? They would be able to catch back up to us by accelerating before we hit planet.
If you slip out, you have to slip out of extreme range. So essentially, if you right now you've spent the past couple of turns accelerating 2, 2, 2, 1, 2, and stuff like that. Right now, you guys are about to fly past each other. So in order to outrun them, you have to essentially leave the combat area, which you could do if you slip past them sensor-wise, and then you'd reach the planet.
Okay, so we're extreme range from the planet right now as well?
Yes, you're not anywhere close to the planet.
Okay.
So as soon as you slip past them, if they fall out of range, which they could easily do, then you guys have escaped the combat area. So,
question: can we use a story point to negate a success on an NPC?
No, you only spend a story point to gain an auto success.
Okay, just
sometimes can be used to negate something that an NPC does.
That's true. Yeah, just wanted to check.
Yeah,
for an opposed, for instance. Yeah.
Yep. All right, so that's going to take us
all the
to
questions I have for the whether we want to do that kind of plan and ride our V's up to the group.
Do we want to try it now, or do we want to save it for next round? Or future.
You guys have a couple of more story points.
I say screw it, let's do it.
You're the captain. Well, you're all the captain, really, but then
look at us with the captain now. Yellow.
Make a call.
Which we have discussion happening.
Okay,
in the chat.
cool.
1 sec.
Which plan is it?
Shut down engines and try to ride our existing velocity while being harder to detect while we're in the zone where target lock has the most favorable modification. That is the other thing, that like in contact and short range, they have like +1, +2 to try to hit the target lock. So now is when it's most important to not be seen. If we were to do it, this is where we would get the most.
I'm into it.
All right. We got, but it takes 2 to fire back up. So yeah, we would ride V for 2 turns.
Okay.
Well, I suppose total of 3 turns.
All right.
So y'all are shutting down the engines and staying dark. So that's going to subtract 2 dice from their rolls
Their
here.
target lock will be a total of minus.
Okay.
Let's see, -1 if we're in contact. I think.
So let's see.
-2 if we're in short range.
Okay, so they're attempting target lock. They have to beat a pretty large. They've got a -2 modifier on top of the successes that they have to beat. So this has to be quite the roll for them. I rolled a 5, a 5, a 3, and a 4 and a 4. They,
Unorthodox. Let's party.
during this round, they do not spot you. You are now moving into the piloting phase. So
we
Wait.
just did engines, right?
Yeah, it
Or
was
no.
engines, and that sense
Or
we
they
get our
did.
sensor's turn.
Yeah, we
they
didn't get our sensor.
They go
turn.
before you guys now. So they actually
Yeah.
get to roll first.
So we
You
get
don't
our
We sensor yet, right?
Yeah, you shut your engines off, so you can no longer take the accelerate maneuver.
But
Yeah,
we can
well, we get-
maneuver if we want to try to win our initiative back.
You can do,
We didn't do our
a chance to
sensors.
do anything with our sensors, is what we're saying.
because you decided to go dark.
Yeah, we were going to. That was going to be the thing, is to turn the sensors off.
Oh, you're going to shut the sensors down as well?
So
we were asking if that's.
You can shut the engines and the sensors down all at
Yeah.
once if you want.
We're
But you will no longer be able to see what they're up to or anything. However, that will give them a -3 to detecting you
That
on
was
top
the
of everything else.
And it takes us it'll take a round to power up the sensors.
Yeah, it
Right,
takes.
so we
it
were
takes
already
it takes an action to
dark.
bring back.
Yeah, we're already dark.
So I thought the -2 modification is they were +1 from being in short range, but we've been dark and we turned our engines dark, giving a total of -3. So it's -3 +1.
Yeah.
Okay.
The roll at -2.
So just so you guys know, to keep this in mind, the closer you all get, the easier it becomes to detect you.
Yeah.
So right now, you're 1 zone away from them. They're getting an auto +2. You've nullified that by shutting the sensors down or the engines off. When you shut the engines off, they didn't get their bonuses anymore to detect you. When you enter their zone, which is probably going to be this turn, depending on what happens, they're going to have
we
a
did last
+3 unless you guys fly right past each other. So this is now the piloting round, piloting check. And you guys are going to go next, but go ahead and decide what you're going to do. I'm guessing you're going to maneuver. They're going to attempt to decelerate. So go ahead and let's make the maneuver check. And yeah, you don't have... this is like... He's showing you some fancy flying right now. Okay. This is an opposed check. And I didn't roll a single success. And they are going to make a roll, because they may not roll a single success either.
Please be bad at being a ship. Thank you.
I rolled 3 1s, a 3, a 3, and a 2. So
I
nothing
appreciate
changes.
it.
Nobody changes hands. They keep initiative. Everything stays the way it is. But they don't accelerate this. Their choice was to maneuver. So this turn, this turn you guys are actually staying within each other's range increments right now. So then gunnery check, they can't do anything because they can't spot you. Engineering check, I'm guessing you want to keep the engines offline.
So the question's when we start powering back up if we want to.
Yeah, because it's going to take 2 full
It will
rounds.
take 2 turns, meaning that we won't be able to accelerate for the next 2 accelerates.
The third,
Mark.
right? The third
Look,
round.
my question is, if we turn the engines on, they don't come up into the next 2 rounds. Does that mean we keep the bonus of being engines off for those 2 rounds?
Offline, yeah, that's a good question.
Yes.
So. Yeah.
Then I say pull the trigger now.
Yeah,
The
I
engines,
think that's
pulling back on. Yeah,
because the engines will
'Cause
start
we've got
warming
so
up.
much V.
The engines will start warming up, but they don't trigger the sensors until they are fully active.
Great.
Sick. Yeah.
Okay. So
We're back up.
Isaac, back down in the engineering bay, you get the order from the captain. Albright shouts down at you from the comms, and you turn around and immediately start
First
flipping over
strategy and
the switches.
troubleshooting. Off and back on.
The engines, you hear them going Mother shows a data readout in front of you. It pops up as you see engines start and pre-ignition sequence activated, and you start seeing the engines heat up as the reactor starts coming online again. You guys continue to drift on their turn. That's going to take you back to the sensors action. Yeah, they're going to go first. Go ahead, and what are you guys going to do? I'm guessing you're going to stay dark. Stay dark with sensors dark. All right, they're going to try to target lock you. Again, they're going to try to target you. They're at a penalty, and that's penalized by -2. You shut off sensors this time though, so that's a -3. That's going to nullify that. This is yeah, you shrank their dice pool pretty good, and they essentially I have to roll almost all successes to be able to spot you guys right now to get past your roll for the. I rolled 1, but it wasn't enough. All right.
Let's go.
It's taking us to the piloting phase. I can already tell you what they're going to do. What are you guys going to do?
We failed our last maneuver, right?
But we can try again.
That's correct.
Yeah. I mean, there's no reason not to.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna maneuver. Show me what you can do, old timer.
Okay. He's gonna try.
Can we use personal abilities during these rounds? Like, didn't think. Okay, I didn't think so.
Unless you've got something that specifically states that you can do that. Actually, hold on.
Doc has a command ability that lets you give someone a bonus die for telling them to do something. Could Voight get a bonus die from Doc giving the instruction to pilot well?
Pilot well.
It's a command. Like it's a command. Like a.
God damn it, Caitlin, for the attorney at law.
We have not been. I mean, I have not been using talents this whole. Yeah, we should do that.
Some of them, I know we won't be able to use, but like that one feels very specifically like a giving a bonus when you give an instruction as a captain.
Rules lawyer attorney rules.
I always ask.
This is the best thing ever. I'm sorry.
No, it is. It reminds me of the outtakes from Firefly, where Mal's like, "Could you turn? Could you turn? Could you maybe turn?" Let's see.
Yeah, what is it? Is it called command or your ability?
Frame.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a thing you actually get to do in this.
That seems silly.
I don't think you do. I think the pilot. I don't think telling the pilot to fly better is actually going to help him fly better.
It's giving the instruction, I believe, is the like do this thing, and that gives you a bonus. Like I believe I've been given the instruction, like give him hell.
These are the only actions that we can take in space combat. I know we are allowing this stuff. I would probably say
captain is not a role in the initiative.
Yeah. And
Giving
honestly, like the concentration of the pilot right now. So he's going to make a piloting check here. They chose to accelerate. So he chose to maneuver. He rolled no successes. They are going to accelerate. Okay.
I mean, I guess we are asking a lot of it. We're trying to get him to maneuver with them.
They've maintained they do not close into close range, but they are still within short range of you. So you get the impression based off of what you can see happening outside both the viewports and passive sensors that are not actively scanning is they're looking for you and they are very close by. They know you are here and they smell the blood in the water and they are trying to find you, but they do not. That's going to take us to the gunner round. And they cannot take an action because they could not spot you. That's going to take us to the
fire every weapon we have.
Yes. You throw the wrench out the airlock door, closing it again. You see the ship explodes in the distance.
I make a ranged combat roll.
So just to clarify, because we're past the 9, so let's engineering check this turn. This is the second turn in which you are powering up the engines. So at the start of the next turn, which is in just a moment, the engines are going to come online. Because last turn they were off and you initiated it.
So we take last round and this round to be full, and then the next round we are usable.
Yeah, powering up the engines takes. Oh wait, no, it says 2 consecutive actions needed.
Right.
Oh yeah, that's right. This would be the second action.
Yeah.
Last turn you used 1 action to power up the engines. This turn you use an action to power up the engines.
Yeah.
Next turn the
And
power
now,
engines
so
activate.
by the time we do the thing, we should be accelerating out into medium range or so.
Exactly.
If you use the accelerate action.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
Next round, sensors. They are still trying to get the target lock on you. You all are still dark. I'm going to go ahead and roll, but they are going to have a bonus because the sensors are down, but the engines are back up. So let's see if they spot you. They do not. Harry, they cannot reestablish target lock. You guys are staying dark this turn.
Oh man.
Okay, so then that's going to take us to the piloting check.
Let's blow this popsicle stand.
I'm guessing y'all are accelerating because they are going to accelerate.
Yeah.
Vroom,
We gotta-
vroom.
All right, here we go. Here we go.
This book, we appear out of nowhere and just.
I started listening to the Fast and Furious soundtrack.
Oh, yeah, it's so good.
Oh.
Auto
joining in.
parts.
I know, I'm so sorry. Fast and the Furious playlist is what's okay. Fast.
Okay. They failed, and you guys got 2 successes. You rocket past their zone,
Oh, let's go.
and y'all are flying right now. They could not detect you, so we're at the gunnery round. They are still looking for you. Engineer, you have done your job admirably. It is now the sensors round again. They're going to try to get a target lock.
What?
Okay. Yeah.
Can we?
Oh,
We're-
I don't
sensors
have to
are
roll.
still dark. Yeah.
Y'all are still dark.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, piloting check. They didn't get you.
Okay,
I'm
we're
guessing
getting
y'all
farther
are
and farther away.
accelerating.
Let's go.
They're going to attempt to accelerate to try to catch up.
Yep, but
And
they're
how-
making up for last time. We built up so much
Yeah, they're like-
velocity from all those
they've had
turns. They had their thumb up there.
4. I think they're 4
Yeah.
where we accelerated and they didn't. Yeah.
All right, so go ahead. Are there again? I'm just rolling. I don't spend story points unless you tell me to. So I'm going to go ahead and roll now. You can, by the way, spend story points after the roll. Keep that in mind. So you have that option too, and which is probably good because I just rolled 4, 5, 4, 1, 1, 2. So would you like to spend a story point?
We want to take it. Keep our.
We have 2 left.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be the decider.
Yes.
Smoke them if
Yeah,
you
I
got
think
them.
I think we get
Aether
out.
Spoon
Yeah.
gave you the success you needed for this
The
round.
farther away we get,
Better.
Oh,
Yeah.
the
Also,
more
it's after
the
9.
easier
Yes,
it
it's
will
been.
be. So it's,
Yeah.
it will never be harder tonight than it is in this moment to accelerate.
Yep. Yep.
The engine burns for a good 5 more minutes before you see Albright on your screen. You see them fading back into the background. Looks like they're having difficulty tracking which direction you all went. You can't see them immediately on sensors. Now, I want to specify that when I say they're fading into the background, that's because that's in the immediate range of where you can detect them. You guys have your sensors turned off.
Mhm.
So all you know is that you slipped past them now and that you are moving forward. A good 10 minutes pass. And it's nerve-wracking. Because flying without the sensors, you have no idea what the next move is. But eventually, you hear Voight say, I think we lost them. Gonna power down the engines a bit. Scales back on the thrust, and you all can feel the engine begin to power down. And he
Pig,
looks back over his
claps
shoulder.
and just like claps him on the shoulder and goes, "Nice moves, nice."
Gets on the intercoms and just goes,
That was some nice engine work down there, Isaac.
Thank you. I'm sure you did exciting things too. What's going on?
he swivels back and looks over the top of the stiff neck of his chair and looks at you, Albright, and says, "Permission to turn the sensors on. Get a quick look around, Captain. See where we are."
Yes, do it. Let's see what's happening in the dock.
All right, we're gonna make some rolls. see if they can reestablish contact. Ooh, you beat them by 1. By 1 fucking success. The sensors come back up online as the Ilios pops up to take a quick look around to see where you are. You're a bit off course. You are much closer to the colony. You have definitely slipped past where you were recently. It looks like they are on the extreme range increment right now. Back to where you guys were, it looks like they're circling to try to reestablish contact where they lost you. But all you get is a sensor ping of where they are, and he immediately powers the sensors back down again. He goes, I've got all I need. The Ilios slips with a low burn, this glowing engines as it coasts towards this large, deep tan-colored planet when the upper atmosphere is flashing with strikes of lightning. That brings us a close to tonight's chapter of Beacon.
Go team!
Oh, that was so
nice
slick.
going.
Oh.
No guns, no worries.
Gotta play
You
what we
guys-
have.
Didn't have it.
Look, there's a lot of solid plays, but the reason why you guys did not end up dodging railgun shots is because you have a Comtech check officer from hell, powered by a Mother
4
6500.
successes. What
That
an
was so
otherworldly
stressful.
being.
Phenomenal.
You guys
Wow.
slipped right past them. What I love about
The only member of
combat
the
system
PC
in
crew who makes checks in this.
Yeah. What I love about the combat system in this is the way they've set it up and how they execute it always reminds you, just from the sheer sense of how you are rolling and how they're able to engage and disengage. Ever present is the enormity of space and how incredibly difficult it is to have a center, to understand where to orient yourself, to find the target you're looking for. They could not paint you guys after they last lost you. You guys were in 1 turn away from being within range and they lost you. And you were going to reach the planet before they even realized that you're not out here anymore. And that is where we are going to pick up next week. So thank you so much, Super Punks, for your constant loving support to all the Ox crew, all your support of Stream Punks. But tonight, the Super Punks and their Ox points
Yeah, y'all got us.
definitely came in handy. Clutch. We will catch you back this same time next Monday night. Until then, this is the crew of the Ilios signing off.